taking advantage of people that are like on the conservative side.
Oh, yep.
Well, no. Epoch Times is run by a Chinese cult called Falun Gong. It's like a crazy cult, and they just hate China, so they're just going to make money off of the people that hate China the most.
If I can get news from all different sides, 6 different sides, I'm not paying for it. I'll read Ted's story on these and then come to my own conclusion. You're going to charge me.
All right, check your feeds.
That's off my radar.
We're up.
We're up.
We're up.
Yeah.
Hooray.
We're up.
Looking.
Larry.
Oh, no. It started again. Where's my chat?
Quiet on the set. I'm hearing the microphone is coming off of the left.
Where did Reboot? No, all fake Meatball Reboot. I had to end that.
And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, full of gremlins, but I think we got it fixed. Deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night, all fake Meatball Rant, with our co-hosts, Patrick Acton, Mr. Coffee's in the house, Ted Buster's here, Kelli Uphaus, yours truly, Larry Parsons, and our ever-present earwig, the real Tim Allen, sweating his nuts off behind the screen. This is My Brain, and now your host, Jeremy Scott Gibbs. Thank God he got it fixed.
We'll see. Can we hear us over here?
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, unmute it.
God, he got it fixed.
Yep, okay.
Woohoo! That was stressful for you. I'm so sorry you had to experience that.
I wanted to throw things.
I know. I could see the anger in your face, but you controlled it very well.
I did. I wanted to throw things.
Watch out for whizzing amaretto bottles.
Hey.
Yeah.
He controlled it very well. I am very proud of him. Larry, get in screen.
Wanted to throw things. I wanted to break things.
That's why we had him way over.
He wanted to say the F word.
Which one?
Right there. Perfect.
Kelli to drop it.
All right. Good. We're good. Okay.
Waiting for me to what?
To drop the first F one.
Oh, I'm
Smoking
not
is one
gonna
of the
do it.
most dangerous addictions.
Oh,
What the hell are
Larry?
you doing, Larry?
I forgot I turned the.
you've had an additional. What time is it?
Yeah.
You've had an additional hour. To
You are
silence
cut
that,
off.
Sir.
Well, it was off. And then we
Oh,
didn't
look at
have
him
any
and his
sound.
fake grilling capabilities.
Fake grilling.
Is that a gas grill?
He
Are they
is.
not supposed to use that?
I mean, charcoal's
Look at that,
evil.
isn't it? You always put the cheese on a raw hamburger.
Right?
We haven't even got to that yet.
No, he's just a better cook than us. We don't understand how he cooks. He's just a better cook than us, you know?
Oh.
He's just one of us.
It's
No,
salmonella. They tried to do that last election cycle where they all showed themselves drinking beers in kitchens. Like they were the good old boys drinking beers.
No.
Yeah, you're not fooling anybody.
It's like Nancy.
Drinking beers.
It was like Nancy Pelosi, like during COVID. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get like these expensive ice creams from my fridge in my $250 million mansion."
Right.
Right. It's a piece of shit.
So I was Jay and Derek was Silent Bob.
Really
Well, when my hair's straight and I put on a stocking cap, I can
nice.
do it like anybody.
So we had lots of gremlins in the system tonight, and I am slightly angry.
Why should he?
I really.
You know, it's you know what bothers me with equipment is when all of a sudden it changes and you didn't do anything and you go to use it the same way it was last time.
And they
That's because
changed
they
it.
run these updates and they don't tell you about it. It just happens in the middle of the night and then it changes completely the way your whole system's formatted, the way it runs. there's stuff that, you should be able to click on and have it come up and function. It's not even loaded in there anymore.
Oh yeah, I open my browser. I open up my browser. Oh, we've updated your browser. Okay, where's my homepage that I had all set up and where's my settings? Oh, did you want to keep those? We deleted those for you. And we updated your browser. Do you want to make your browser default now?
That's just progress in general. They're like, oh, you have a system and the way of life you like. Oh, we're going to update it and push this forward that you don't like, so we can make your life miserable.
No, what that is.
That's just how modern progressivism is. We have a wave that we like, and then they just push the stuff that we don't want to ruin our day, to ruin our life.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Why do they call themselves progressives? Unless they're progressively communist?
Because they believe in the false religion called progressivism. Because
progressivism. It's an ism.
Ism.
Autism. Being I'm not on mic, but I saw Sleuth Mama.
Get your microphone.
Well,
Now that I just spent
we-
45 minutes getting the audio to work,
Nah,
use it.
You got to yell at somebody.
the deep state tried to take us down, but we still fight back.
Mr. Coffee, if my dad says anything, tell me.
Oh, which one did you?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh.
Well,
I didn't want to call Sleuth Mama when I didn't have my glasses.
My
closed, so I
dad's
thought
name-
it was Slut
I'm
Mama.
gonna-
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Now it's Sleuth
I'm going to do this at my own peril. Yep, that's what I thought.
What'd you do?
What'd you do?
You broke it.
Kelli, go ahead.
This is my brain. Notice this podcast is mostly raw and unfiltered and completely politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service. We only recognize 2 genders. As adults, we enjoy adult beverages. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Yes.
Many will never hear.
We cuss. We do not curse or swear. We love Jesus, but hate religion and religious hypocrites. If any of this offends you, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Have a
Bye-bye.
lovely evening.
Arrivederci.
Blessings to
And because of the late hour, I'm gonna jettison all the rest of them, even though I love all of them. But we do have to do this.
you. Second Amendment.
Ready?
Oh,
Never apologize and never explain. It's a sign of weakness.
And
John Wayne.
mhm.
Tim's not.
One of the apostles.
Are your feelings
Her
hurt?
words down.
Oh,
what is
Girl, baby, girl.
oh, really?
It's all
Baby?
computerized.
Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike your words again.
Baby
We
girl.
are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down.
I'm not apologizing.
Well, then, I'm not striking your words.
I am not apologizing.
Chair recognizes Ms. Green.
I repeat
She
again
was
for
up
the
at that
second
point. She's
time.
like, baby
But
girl.
I'm
And she's
not
like,
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Well, that is the weirdest shit that I've ever heard.
"Oh."
I don't know, but we're not apologizing for that because Tim and I worked our asses off to make sure this would work. And
This is where we're at.
you hit the go button and you get what you get.
And you don't throw a fit.
You have what? Oh, there it is.
I
There's
see
the
him.
shot. Okay.
Oh, sir.
What?
Can I just read this? I promised I wouldn't. And we don't even
Hold
have
on,
to
hold
comment
on,
it.
hold
I
on,
just thought
coffee.
I'd read
Hold
it.
on, coffee. I don't have that button turned on.
Turn on my button.
You are, there it is. Got it. Thank you.
Is it okay if I read this? It was handed to me through the lines about
Yes, do
something
it
that's
quickly.
going on tomorrow. All right.
Yes.
To the best of my recollection, this is the basics of what happened. I could be mistaken on some of the dates and info, but if I am, it's not far off. During the recession in 2007, 2008, the Livingston County Deputy Sheriff's Association made a verbal agreement with the Board of Commissioners that we would pay more into our retirement. They would pay more for our health care, dental vision, blah, blah, blah. Not get any contractual raises until the economy bounced back. The board agreed to make it up to the union in the future. When the economy recovered, the board failed to live up to their end of our agreement. The deputies went like 7 years or so without any pay increase. We were told the county doesn't have the money, but other departments in the county received increases. That led to the LCDSA, our union, to negotiate into our contract that going forward. If anybody employed by the county gets a pay raise, the deputies would as well. We called it the Me Too clause. I don't remember exactly what year that was. I think it was around 2012. Maybe fast forward to 2023, it's brought to the union's attention the county employees and other departments had received pay increases while the Me Too clause was in effect. We've made that a permanent part of our contract due to the county not wanting to pay their law enforcement members a fair wage. Currently, the union and the county, almost done, board are working on resolving the issue, but of course, the county doesn't want to pay this. This might not be 100% accurate, but it's close if my memory serves me right. And the reason I wanted to read that is there's a commissioner, some kind of Republican meeting tomorrow with all those guys there. So if anybody hears this or whatever, maybe they can answer to the deputies at that meeting. I'm done.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Are you
Quite
done
literally.
this time?
He's done. He's spent. He's rolling over
I'm
and
out of here. Be home in a minute, Quinn. Get that blue pill.
he's rolling over and getting out of the.
Get that blue pill ready? Is that what you said?
It's like the size of a big giant cookie.
I'm glad you didn't have your mic for that. Let's get right into this because I've had enough tonight, all right? But it was this is supposed to be an all fake meatball night. Tim made great meatballs. We ate dinner. It was great to go with the all fake meatball. I don't know if we're gonna be able to play the clip, but there is a clip from Rocky 3, all fake meatball. We're not gonna play it right now. You guys can look it up. Anyways, so what we're gonna cover tonight on the show is all of the fake things out there. And this being Pride Month, where if you take the PRI off and the TH off, it just says demon. So, I mean, that's appropriate. Because demons are fake. Not that demons don't exist, but their whole persona is to be a lie and be deceptive. So, therefore, fake. But here's what's going on. Jean Karine, whatever the hell her
Cabbage Patch.
she's the black Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage
Does
Patch.
look like Cabbage Patch.
Yeah, she does. She got hair just like my Cabbage Patch doll did.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Oh, her cheap fakes. Those are cheap fakes. They're not real.
so
Your eyes are lying to you.
Little Miss Cabbage Patch, the black lesbian.
Who is on IMDb as an actress, by the way? Just saying.
Wow.
No, that's fake news. You can't say that.
It's on there. You
That's
can look
been
it up.
fact checked by fact checkers on Facebook. Just
Which ones? The ones that were like prostitutes?
the one
and-
connected to the DNC.
What the actual fact check. And there it is. See that, Kelly?
Yes.
See, I had it all set up before,
Yes.
and now it doesn't want to do
Not
that. And
saying
so it's,
no. We just deactivated your entire system. Welcome.
I swear it's. I'm like,
I told you. I sent you that link earlier, and I was like, I think this is a thing.
no, we've had this shit before. But
I know.
Oh,
I said it a few weeks ago that I think something's going on with Rumble. It's Elon took over Twitter, turned it to X. There are people still getting shadow banned on there. But the thing is, as soon as he finds out about it, he generally fixes it. So I don't know that if in Rumble they haven't grown to the place where where it's happening behind the scenes or with the advertisers or whatever. But
If I may
There's
bring
some
something up here,
shenanigans.
it's just like on the Rumble app, I can't find a way to share the link with people. But when I do it on my browser on Safari, it's more I can see it immediately.
Mhm.
So they just have some problems on the app that are just
might not be optimized.
yeah, not be but it's like basic social media, like streaming stuff. You got to have like a easy way to share stuff to people, you know?
Absolutely. So look at cringe, next level gaslighting with Coringe Pierre, Jean Pierre, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
But here's the video we'll play for you, and I hope the sound comes through.
Why is she wearing a suit?
Did
like
not
that?
see Biden wandering around aimlessly, freezing up, shitting himself, sniffing dignitaries, falling asleep, drinking drug cocktails, and frisking serving girls. What you actually saw were cheap fakes. It's like a deep fake, but it's just the real video that we don't want people to see. Oh, and I am a black lesbian.
And guess what? It's growing. The economy's growing. People's doing better. We have the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years. We have more people. We've had over 15 million people brand new hired into the workforce. You know, my son says we all have various short-term descriptions for your jobs, for what you accomplished. And you should say Joe Jobs.
Biden has no idea what planet he's on, and the White House is now saying these videos are fake.
All fake, Meatball. All fake.
And look at him, he even walks like he's United.
Yeah.
He's like 90.
That doesn't.
Well, did you see, like I said earlier, did you see he was like the World War II veteran, just like one guy, I was like, probably 100 years old, looks younger than him, and behind just instead of handshaking you, there's like a fist bump to his face.
Well, if you notice,
He poops his pants
here's
again.
the poop.
There's the poop. Oh,
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable
I think he was
Lloyd
trying
J.
to sit
Austin.
down. I
All the videos you just saw are real, except the first one of the press secretary. That was a joke, and everybody can tell it's a joke, a meme from Men in Black. But all the others are real. The White House is saying, no, they're all fake. So here she is saying that none of this is real. Here it is.
All right, so we can take
tells
that
you
down.
everything that we need to
here it is.
know about how desperate Republicans are here. And instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos. And it is, again, done in bad faith.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
How stupid she looks.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares.
InfoWars tells you the truth
Well,
about
Trump
what's
was in
happening
Detroit,
next.
and that people that's talking to actual people. Biden is in LA with all these celebrities, and he doesn't know what he's doing.
if you look,
Who do you think got
On
more
your-
votes?
if you look on your computer where Obama leads him off, if
Yeah.
you look on the floor,
Clown.
there is actually footprints
Secretary.
that are pasted on floor like in Kroger when you used to freaking have to on the stage floor. If you look, you can't see it when he showed that video, but if you look on a big screen, there's big feet. So if he was, like it's time to walk off, he could follow the feet. They're like this big.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, have you seen
Yeah.
his, like, his
I
note
could-
cards? It's like sit down on the chair, shake hands with the guy.
4 more years. Pause.
Come on, man. 4 more years on the retirement home
Come
tennis
on, man.
board.
Come on, man.
I want those chocolate
on, man.
chip hairy legs. And that's
All
what
right.
America's all about.
On to our second, because the time is quickly moving away from us. Here is another fake mother person.
Oh boy.
This is
I'm gonna grill you a burger with some salmonella.
Chucky Schumer. And let's look at it. He's like, look at this raw burger with a piece of cheese on it.
Yeah, that's not kosher.
Guarantee you those are pre-made patties too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Jewish and he's got hot dogs up there.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter.
Hopefully they're-
Somebody
They could be
said
Hebrew
most of
nationals.
their Cooking, Grandpa.
They could be Hebrew nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, something it was on. I heard on the radio this morning. Some what do they call the Jewish, not ministers, but Jewish rabbi posted on his page about it that was not kosher because he put dairy on raw meat.
Uh-huh.
And he took this post down.
Yeah. Chuck Schumer deletes his post. So the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, deleted his Father's Day photo from X, formerly Twitter, after criticisms that his spatula skills were weak and he was pathetic.
That is not.
I think I'm going to give him a benefit of the doubt and say they probably, because the Hebrews, the hot dogs are on there already. They probably had just put the burgers on there, and somebody decided to go throw some cheese on there, so that looks good, and it wasn't ready for cheese.
He's taking that picture with his own hand. That's a extension picture.
No, it's not. Look at him.
He's like
He's looking at. Yeah.
he's looking at his camera.
I don't think so.
I'm doing the selfie thing.
I know what
agree.
an old man selfie looks like, and that's an old man selfie.
I think somebody said, "Hey, pretend like you're cooking," and you used to.
Yeah.
Go look at his pictures with the
Act
wigs
like
playing
a
sisters.
pretend like you're a real man cooking something for real.
So you think it's a selfie stick?
I don't think it's a. Tim, you think that's a selfie?
I don't.
It might be a selfie stick.
A stick?
A stick that the phone's extended an additional, you know.
Do you think there's a lot of hot dogs?
I don't know that he's smart enough to operate himself.
I don't think he can do that. I think it's just like his PR team saying, "Oh, this is definitely a good idea." Just throw like the most evil grin on there and be like the most fake evil grin smile on there. And look, hey, I'm one of you people. I grill.
The selfie sticks are so Apple cultish that I believe he would have the aptitude to do
I
it.
think his biggest decision of the day was whether to does he put his teeth in for the photo?
I know. I thought the same thing. Where's his teeth?
Wait. Can we do this? Can we throw some green hair on him and then the Joker smile?
Oh my gosh.
Well, what's more interesting is that article, like what the article's saying is like, oh, our families lived in an apartment their whole lives, but now we can buy a house, probably in some wealthy area in New York, like saying, oh, anyone can buy a house now, but no one can, except if you're like filthy rich like he is.
Chuck Schumer's daughter,
insider
who's
trading.
Your dad's fleeced the country for all those years. But here's the thing. He's cooking on a gas grill.
Yeah.
What a piece
That's
of
no infrared.
climate change is real. What is wrong with him?
He should be eating kale.
Right?
And well,
and not grilling.
Might as well
He
be
needs to eat the
riding a
bugs.
bike to work.
and it might as well be a George Foreman.
Exactly. An electric grill.
Maybe he's grilling estrogen burgers and estrogen hot
Probably.
dogs. We just don't know.
He's got a little man boob going on.
More
there.
than likely, there is estrogen in both of
Yeah,
those.
all that meat has estrogen in it. That explains like the man boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Do
little
you know
bit of
that the
Tata there.
the one that Burger King put out? What the hell was it called?
Possible Whopper.
Impossible.
Oh, Impossible Burger.
Yeah. Do you know that can take one burger contains as much as 6 months worth of estrogen?
Wow.
I ate one
Yeah.
once, and then I read what was in it, and then I never ate one again.
And you became like twice as much of a woman afterwards.
Change bra
Well,
sizes.
I don't know
you,
about
you're gonna have
that.
an estrogen like overload at that moment.
I might have had a very struggled emotional roller coaster of a month.
Right.
But
That's why Kelly hasn't been on for a month because she ate an estrogen burger and she had to take the month off.
celebrating 20 years of wedded
Personal
bliss.
woman time off.
Oh, that's what it was.
8 and 9 says it's his daughter.
Microphone.
His daughter.
Microphone.
8 and 9 says his daughter and her wife's house.
Oh, so his
Yes.
children can use gas,
No,
but
his
us little
le-
people can't.
His daughter's
Wife's grill.
wife's grill.
Oh.
So not only are they violating any vegan dynamics, not only are they violating cooking on gas grills, charcoal grills,
It's at a
They're
taco.
not kosher.
It's at a taco eater house.
not only is he being called out for his Israeli or his Jewish being whatever. There's also lesbian.
Heidi Fleiss's
With
number
her.
one client.
I mean, there's so many fucked up things about that. Just to go through the list.
Uh-huh.
Lesbian daughter with a grill cooking meat for a guy that probably wants to ban your gas stove
And meat.
And you can't.
and meat.
I mean, they're trying to kill our farms, so
That's the dystopian 21st century American dream. I want to grow up so my lesbian kids can have a house that's too expensive and they can grill estrogen meat.
That's about
And
right.
they can have trans 3-year-olds grow up in a diverse
15-minute city.
Lab grown meat.
15-minute city where you can't escape
Yeah.
Where's Pat's mic?
because you're barcoded.
You can turn him up a little bit. Pat's mic's a little low.
Turn me up.
Gotcha.
Turn them up.
Oh, and
No,
speak.
look at the bottom one first. Go
Oh.
past that one.
my.
That's just blown up. Go past.
Oh,
my.
my.
Got
What
that
happened
one.
there?
What
Oh.
the
That
frick
was
face?
posted on Sage. That's the big Sage protest.
Oh, look, they represented us with the Pink Floyd shirt.
Yep. Now check it out.
Oh,
I
nice.
did not crop
Put it up,
So
put it up.
Now go to the next picture. You'll see.
Well,
where
they gotta see it.
They got to see it. Now you will see.
So there's our-
This
there's
is not
our-
Photoshop. This was not a deep fake. You got the main saggies there.
I feel
got
sorry
the
for
main
those
saggies
kids.
Oh, look,
there.
cat dude is there.
Right now, go to the
He
next
looks
picture.
very unhappy.
Wait.
Right.
This is
Cat dude literally looks
Wait,
photoshopped in.
no, it isn't though.
Hidden
This
behind-
is from the Sage board.
Oh, my.
Now go to the picture where I blew that up. I took it from the Sage board. Now now blow that up if you can see it. That is her, and I put on coffee. I was
Him.
like,
That's him.
They them.
that is not Photoshop. That's from their board.
No, that's him.
And yeah,
It looks photoshopped.
it does though, doesn't it? But it's not. It's from Sage board, unless they're really screwing with him because I put like, well, there's a guy stuffed in with a bunch of angry fat women and somebody farted. That happens to be Meg Kukulmani from Fowlerville.
Now, does it look like Cat Dude is actually stuffing his shirt?
Well, that picture is.
I don't even want to get into that.
But that is a real
For God's
picture.
sake.
I did not doctor that. I pulled it right from the sage board, or my person did.
Stop. Stop.
Look at that, though.
It's not right.
He's just sitting
It's
weird
not
on the
right.
grass. And
Yeah.
lean
Anyways,
back on his left
I
arm.
appreciate this person over here with the Pink Floyd shirt representing all of us.
Yeah, that's Casey.
Yeah.
Nancy
Well, they
Pelosi.
called us out for using the egg with all the colors of life coming
Yeah.
out of it. I used it as one of the thumbnails one time, and they accused us of being closeted homosexuals.
I'm not going to point it out,
I
but
would
one of those young girls, actually, mommy dressing it as a boy. I'm not gonna point it out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Or dressing the boy as a girl.
Yes.
Speaking of more demonic stuff on
Sad.
The
that,
one green shirt.
Mm-hmm. Let's do this one right here. This is quick. This is a transparent. This was posted by Gays Against Groomers. My son got his second blocker yesterday. Yay! It was going great until the doctor came in to perform the procedure. The doctor was amazing, by the way. Amazing. My son freaked out after the numbing cream and after the numbing medicine was put in the needle. He got so scared, he refused to have the procedure. Luckily, Children's Hospital provided a child specialist to talk his ass into it so that I could virtue signal the fuck out of the whole event. Oh, wait, that's not there. Her job was to calm him and distract him while I attempted to change his gender. It took over an hour of negotiation. This chick, this parent of the transgender child, needs to be in jail.
Yeah.
Why are their names crossed off?
It's called
Well, that's-
Munchausen by proxy.
What happened to public shame?
No, the person that's posting that is
The person that's posting doesn't want to dox them. They want to
Yeah.
bring attention to the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
But the problem is that sometimes we need some public shame, because a lack of public shame is causing this to happen. I'm like,
Well,
literally,
that's
this
where-
is like the most terrifying thing.
There was a time when they would take somebody like that and put them lock them up in the middle of the town square.
Yeah.
Everybody would
See, we
Yeah, I
come
know.
by
Well, there's a time
Yeah.
this country used to
Laugh
lynch
at 'em.
people too.
We're going to see a whole bunch of lawsuits down the road from kids like this.
Yep.
Against that
Right.
hospital, that doctor, the
Yep.
mom, whatever. You're going to see a lot of big lawsuits for this bullshit.
In this hyper communication society we live in with social
Oh my
media
God.
and everything we have going on, public shame leads very quickly to mob mentality.
He can't stop. He kept saying how it's just not fair that he has to do this, and
Yep.
he's right.
I know.
Says
Look,
it took
the
over-
medicine cost $43,000.
It took over an hour of
She
negotiation
had to
before.
bribe him with money.
Yep. It took over an hour of negotiation before he let the doctor continue. I literally bribed him with money. It was the most stressful hour. I was so scared he wasn't going to go through with it. And I kept thinking of the consequences if he didn't. The medicine cost $43,000 plus the cost of the insertion pack. The medicine only lasts a few days once prepared to insert. So coming back to put him to sleep for the procedure would be unlikely. Not sure the insurance would approve it again. So I was proud of him that he went through with it and cannot believe how brave he is. The whole way home, he was crying because he was releasing the stress. No, he'd just been abused in the worst fucking
That
way.
is sexual abuse. That is
He
sexual
kept
abuse.
saying how it was just not
It's
fair
more
that
than
he has to
sexual
do
abuse.
this. And he's right. It's not. Oh, wait. It's right that it's not right? And you agreed with him? Oh, you agreed with him that it's not right that he has to be subjected to this type of treatment just to be trans. Not
Right.
that what you did was the pinnacle of child abuse next to literally raping your child.
That's so awful.
And this is what, so I understand the public shaming, but I agree.
Well, I'm
it's
not
like,
saying we need to have mob, but stuff clear as this, there needs to be some pushback.
well, and,
I mean,
and here's the issue that we can balance out on. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but They posted this.
They're proud of
And
that.
Yeah, they're proud of it.
So at that point, that's when whoever saw it originally posted it. That's when they called them out, for being. But these type of people are doing this all over the place, and it's ridiculous.
sick.
But this is what
It's sick. They need to be charged with child abuse.
they do.
Oh, okay. The name of the person, the parents of transgender children is actually the blocked out. It's look right here.
Yeah.
This is they blocked out at.
Correct.
So they blocked out their own.
No. The
parents.
Correct.
They're two the same person, but they blocked their own how to connect with them.
The
blocked
person
it.
who took the screenshot
Blocked it to not.
blocked it.
I wouldn't think so because I
No,
never
that's how it is. The person, someone took a screenshot of that.
Yeah, you can tell it's a pen. It's a
Right, I know, but I'm thinking whatever's blocked out is the connection to parents of transgender children, and whoever blocked it out,
It's
the same person right there though. Who I don't know who blocked it, whether parents of transgender scratched it out or somebody that screenshot it scratched it
the
out.
screenshot.
Okay, but they took out so you wouldn't see where to connect with them because it'll
And
say
they-
like
and they
parents-
highlighted.
So
Yeah.
I don't know anything about how this works or whatever it is this person's describing, but isn't genital mutilation something they do in foreign countries that we have heard people complain about on the left for a very long time? And
Oh,
to
you
me,
mean
this
like Muslim
sounds,
countries?
this
Yeah.
sounds like genital mutilation to
Right.
me.
It is.
I mean, I'm just trying to kind of
They
figure out how one's not
they
the other.
perform.
How it's not a double standard.
Right.
You
Don't
can't.
the blockers come first and
Because
you
it
have
is.
to have all that
This is a needle going into the
Right, I get it,
urethra,
but that kid
going
has to be
into the
before.
man in the little boat.
I get it, but this kid has to be before like
What do you
puberty,
think- what do you-
10 years old or whatever,
What would your doctor?
and he's freaking out or
What would-
she.
What
It's
would
a
your
he.
kid's doctor say if you take your kid to the doctor's office and say, cut off his arm?
He doesn't need it. He identifies
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
one-armed man.
He identifies as one arm man.
There-
Cut off-
There
Okay,
are people
okay.
doing that right
But
now.
there
know.
are people doing that
I know.
I mean, if they're going to cut their dick off, why
Yeah,
not
there are
cut their
people
arm off?
doing that right now, Larry.
because we're not treating mental illness. We are enabling
it.
and encouraging
And we
mental
just-
We're
illness.
indulging
had
it.
another
We're
mass
not encouraging
shooting in
it, we're indulging
Rochester.
it.
The
What, 2
inmates
days
are
ago?
running the asylum.
Yep.
At a water park.
Yeah.
Libtards are wanting to take guns away again.
There was a
41-year-old
guy living with his mommy in a trailer.
So to
Yeah.
be clear, Stacy, this is a little girl, being-
my son.
right?
That's because
This
she's
is
a
a little
transgender.
girl
Okay.
being taken by her mother to the
Right.
doctor's office and having a
Right.
injection in her clitoris with
They
growth
do the
hormones
beauty blockers there.
in the clitoris.
They do it there.
So
That's
where's
where they put
where's
shot.
the father?
That's what I'm reading right here.
Where the
Microphone.
hell is the father?
Take a guess.
Typically, they don't get a say.
Either
Well,
way, this
if you
kid
guys-
is close to 10, 11 maybe years old.
Microphone.
About 10 or 11 years old
Mhm.
and is begging, don't do this.
Correct.
Probably younger
It-
than that.
And remember the case of the father down in Texas, divorced, and his wife was taking the child, continually making the child dress as a girl, making the child operate as a girl. The child would get visitation, come see the dad, and just wanted to be a little boy.
People that do this, they're doing this for attention.
I
That's
thought it
all.
was the other
They don't
way
care about the
around.
kid. They don't
The
care about
one
the
in
kid.
Texas, wasn't that the other way around? Wasn't it a boy
I was right. 10
that
or
the
11
mom kept putting a skirt on for
That's
a
what I
girl?
said.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it was the dad that was protecting.
But the people
Yes.
that are doing this, they're doing it for attention online.
Mhm.
That's the main reason. It's attention online for strangers to say, "Oh, go you! You're so brave and powerful."
Munchausen by proxy.
Munchausen by proxy. Yeah.
Yeah, they say age 10 or 11 is when they start.
I
that
mean,
stuff.
realistically, every time I see one of the videos on like these pages, it's usually the mom that's pushing it on the child. Like they're the ones that are in, and that is 100% Munchausen by proxy.
What
Yeah.
is Munchausen by proxy?
You got to
So
pull it up.
Munchausen is when you make
I was just
yourself
bringing up
sick.
the age
Like
when
you
they
do
start.
you do things to yourself to make yourself appear sick to others, so you get treatment.
Ah.
Munchausen by proxy is when a mother makes her child sick, or a parent or of some sort makes their child sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So they have the issue of needing the attention by making this person sick.
The
So
reason
See-
I asked is because do you ever see the movie Yes Man?
Mhm.
If you remember, Zoe Deschanel had a band, And I believe it was Munchausen by
Yeah, that's the
Foxy.
name of her band.
Right.
Yeah.
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 But a better one is the Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that was a really good
And
movie.
and Haley Joel Osment's character, the little boy who's can see dead people
all the time.
He's the one that exposes the mom, finds the VCR tape, and plays it. And the mom was poisoning, and she's getting all of the attention. You poor thing, you lost your child.
Do you remember back in 2015 where they were like before they legalized gay marriage? They're like,
Okay, 'cause the way
oh,
it-
we just want to get married, right? Nothing else. We just want to get
Why do
married
they
and
have to put
exist.
them under?
Slippery slope. Married. 10 years later, children get their genitals cut off,
right,
and they get abused.
Yep.
When does it stop? When does it stop? When do we push back? Because the problem is because people are like, oh, well, they just want to get married still. Nothing. This is just all, that's just all extremism saying.
Oh, they just want to dance naked in the
they just
street
wanna-
during Pride Month.
We just want grown men riding bikes and dancing naked with dildos all over them in front
They
of
just
children.
want to have.
People don't want to get involved. I've seen videos of 85-year-old man in downtown Detroit. Some guy, punk ass, is just beating the living shit out of him, and a bunch of people are standing there watching it. Now, yeah, they're videoing it. That there aren't that many people like the guys that are sitting at this table, because I'm sure any one of us would have gone over and beat the living shit out of that punk ass kid.
Yeah.
He would have I'd have gone to the jail, but that son of a bitch gone to the hospital, guaranteed.
Well,
Oh,
here's
I
another
just
thing,
stuck.
though.
I
Here's
just
ano-
stuck my 9mm right in his face.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, though, right? We have the dinosaur globalist media that are like, oh, if you did that, this extremist racist shot an innocent kid who was defending himself against a racist old man. That's what's going on these days, We have criminals that are attacking people, and people fight back, and then the media is like, oh, this racist attacked a young scholarly kid.
Look at the crazy black dude that have been arrested.
It's like that guy from
50 times.
the New York subway.
Exactly, that's
the
what
New
I'm
York
talking
subway.
about.
This is child abuse in the form of physical abuse,
Mhm.
where the mother is the same as the people that put the masks on their face during COVID and had the shot rings around their Facebook status during COVID. It is a way for them to say, look at how great I am. I accept my trans kid that I'm forcing to be trans.
It's their circumcision blood sacrifice to Moloch.
Oh,
It is.
hey,
Child
and
sacrifice.
But they're
Segueing
doing
into
it.
that.
They're doing it in multiple ways.
If you-
Abortion is one of their sacraments.
If you look who's pushing all this stuff,
Mhm.
and you look at the connections like this, like Moloch stuff, right? It's a clear pattern. But this is all just like that's what the circumcision is. It's like you get these grown men sucking on, like they cut the feed, like the infant's genitals, they suck the blood, and that's just like it's part of the Moloch worship.
What?
And no one pushes back on it.
Well,
nobody sucked any blood
Gretchen-
that I know of.
Gretchen
This
Whitmer-
he's talking about the
The original-
the current rabbinic ritual of
Oh.
circumcision,
Talmudic.
not
Gretchen-
the
Talmudic,
Talmudic.
not the Hebrewic. The
Oh.
Hebrewic was a sign of the promise of the covenant of salvation.
right.
by
And
the
there was
Hebrews.
no
blood sucking.
yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh.
there is a Talmudic version of it.
You learn
Gretchen
something new
Whitmer
every
told the
day.
big lie yesterday when she opened up her mouth and said that gun violence is the #1 cause of death.
No,
in
it's
the-
medical
in the country.
malpractice.
No, it's not. The
Yeah,
number
it
one
is.
cause of death in the state of
Of
Michigan.
death or homicide?
Death.
Suicide.
The #1 cause of death in Michigan is abortion. In the United States of America, the #1 cause of death is abortion.
Mhm.
On this earth, the
Right.
#1 cause of death is abortion. Not gun violence, not COVID-19,
No.
Mhm.
not anything else.
It's the biggest
The
genocide in the
biggest
history
genocide
of
in the
history.
history of this world is abortion.
If I may add, it's abortion, suicide, drug abuse. What does that say about our society? Are we a healthy society compared to the 1950s and 60s?
Oh yeah, it's a socialist utopia. What are you talking about?
Fit into that.
Trey, the guitar guy, says hi, Ted.
That a lot of people die from
Oh, hi Trey.
medical malpractice.
Nothing.
Oh, absolutely. But he's right that we execute our children in the womb all day long.
Yeah.
It's called free speech. Get over it, Nazi.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's actually 15 to 18 times more people die from medical malpractice accidents by a doctor than do by handguns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, we know Witchmer is a liar. Pop that one up there real quick, Tim. I want to.
I will.
In regards to that image, you see what's
Flipping
going
out.
on in
Technical
Spokane, Washington?
Huh?
In regards to that image, do you see
Oh
what's
yeah,
going on in Spokane,
yeah. They're
Washington?
charging
those like young kids.
They're charging teenagers.
They're just like putting stuff on their scooters or like putting skid marks on that like flag on the street on scooters and getting charged as felons for like 10 years prison.
Yeah. But
they can burn the American flag.
Burn the flag.
That's really cool.
Burn the Bible. No big deal. But if you dare touch the symbol of the Rainbow Mafia,
The quarter of the Nazi emblem.
Yeah, I said hi to him. Oh, Jeremy, hang on. I got an image on my phone that I'll show you, but it just perfectly explains what's going on here, you know?
It is exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Interesting. Are you still having difficulties with your switches?
No, I'm good.
Okay, we can switch. So there's some stuff like that, and because we got a lot of pedophiles out there.
No, the computer slowed down because I tried to open the browser window.
Okay. Oh yeah,
And
here's
then I
the
forgot
one
why
you're
I was
talking
opening the
about.
browser window.
Yep.
Let's do that one. So there it is. That's a hate crime there with teens charged with felonies. But taking down historic statues, spray painting them.
I don't see them.
The left is a hate crime. The left is no. Open your eyes, Coffee. What are you, some boomer? The left is a hate crime, obviously.
I just see them having.
No, it is a hate crime. Can't you see them riding on with wheels across the pride colored flag? Look at them marring up the colors of the flag. It is a hate crime.
They are
those
defacing
bigot
the glorious
bastard
state flag
children.
of globalist America. That is our state flag. That is our actual flag now, this regime.
So obvious. Obviously, the people on the right are expressing their freedom of expression and speech in America.
And you can burn the flag for America as well.
You know,
That's allowable.
if one of those kids was transgender, it would fuck them up really bad.
I can see them having fun. I don't even see them looking at
No, they're
That's
riding
because
on
you're
the
racist
pride
fuck.
flag.
All they're doing
You-
is riding on it. How's
They're
it?
just riding. I don't see them like, watch this and doing donuts, just riding around on
How would you like it when I stepped on the flag of your service of military?
do whatever you want, but I don't see this. I don't see them doing
It's
Well-
painted on a damn road.
I don't. Yeah, I know.
Where is it supposed to go?
I know.
There's okay. Let's be real here. They're
Well, if
putting
it's in
skid
San
marks on it.
Francisco, you could take a crap on it.
They're putting skid marks on this flag, but should you be a felon and go to prison
I don't
for
see
years?
I know, but I don't see them skidding or
No, I know.
They're riding
I
over
mean,
the
Yeah, I know.
flag.
Here's all right. Here's the thing.
Just because
Yeah.
you don't see it doesn't mean I don't have the right to be
It is
offended by
incorrect.
it.
Yeah.
It is taxpayer property. They really
Get us
should.
up for
Yeah.
our community.
Yes. Paid by taxpayers.
All right.
I have no.
Well, if that's painted on taxpayer property, it needs to be washed off.
That's true.
Well, no, they want them to put that on there.
That's vandalism.
No,
I mean,
they
if
want them to
this
put
is
that on there.
where Greg Gogolewski's sister lives,
Go.
then it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Right. Oh, here's
that
another
woman
one.
is nuts.
Here's another one. Okay, let's just
Oh,
for
yeah,
perspective.
hate crime, not a hate crime.
Hate crime is when somebody does a burnout on a
Here's the
public street
Yep.
where somebody decided to paint it.
Mhm.
But the Tennessee shooter,
Whose manifesto literally says she hates cis people.
Yeah.
And white people.
And that guy
white
got
people.
arrested.
and Christians.
And what white
And
Christians.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the journal-
Our glorious FBI is trying to hide that manifesto for over a year.
Because she was molested.
I have a quick snippet of
The journalist was
that
arrested.
I have a quick snippet of that manifesto at Break Media.
Okay.
Although we're having a short show,
I think the FBI needs to be dismantled.
we could play
100%.
that.
Well, that's the first
I
step.
don't.
Yeah, we'll see if
We
we
can play
just
that
needs
in
the CIA
30
as
minutes.
well.
Okay.
For sure, the CIA.
Catch us up in chat there, Koff.
Oh, they're saying exactly what we're saying. There's nothing, everybody's just
Department of
chit-chatting, same shit.
Transportation, Education Department.
I don't like
Realistically,
the
we don't
department.
need any departments.
I don't like
We
the
don't. They
Department
need
of
to all go away.
Transportation. Why do the trans need portation anyway?
Well, you realize that
This
is
is
what
true.
the candidate Nikitin
Yeah.
is running on is transportation.
Well, if they get portation, I want portation too. What are you laughing about?
He just got the joke.
What, my joke?
No, Kelly's joke.
She's running on
Transportation.
Oh.
Well, you know, I got to say something that may ruffle some feathers here.
You know, God,
but
you want
you know,
but yeah.
the certain person that is like advocating for like, you know, the public transportation has like kind of a good point. Why are we spending so much money on like Ukraine, Israel, illegals? We should be building up our own infrastructure,
Right.
more railroads, more.
Well, that
roads,
part's
right?
true. That part's true.
However,
But-
I don't believe that we really need public transportation the way this person wants it. When you move to rural America,
Well, the problem
You
is
don't
that
get
we are
buses at
we are
every
a
street corner.
globalist society based on car-based infrastructure, right? In Europe, they have trains, they have bike rails, they have actual pathways. Here, it's either you get a car,
not in the rural
Only,
country.
only in the cities.
You don't get it in the rural
here today.
country.
you get even if we're in like, oh, we
This
got to drive
person's-
somewhere.
this
Like, I
person's
mean,
trying
unless
to-
like you got a job down the road, but you got to in this
But that-
society we have to have a car, or we're effed up.
I was
but
environmentally friendly and rode my bike here today.
let me address that real quick, because I understand your perspective, but look at it from this perspective of Europe has been a country at war for the better part of last 1,000 years,
1,500 years.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
just post
Napoleon. Yeah,
post one of your. America was founded from the dynamic of freedom.
Right.
So I see the vehicle dynamic as less a lack of infrastructure and transportation stuff, and more as a complete expression of freedom, because I want to be able to get in my car and go whenever
wherever
I
you
want to go, when I want to go, and not
wherever
rely on
you
a bus.
want. Yeah.
So if you look at it from that dynamic,
That I agree with you. That was the point of it. But
Yes.
it's been corrupted by this globalist, you know,
Oh, yeah.
cabal.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you need to have a car to get your 9 to 5, like basically these days, like
but not
wage
the,
slave
hold on,
job.
Hold on, not in the metros. In the metros, it is. There are people who brag about living in New York City and not having to drive for decades.
I've never
Well,
driven.
yeah, but we need
Yeah.
more. That's what I'm saying. We need more kind of
Right.
like walkable, you know, cities. You
Well,
know?
then you've got more concentration throughout Europe too. More concentration
That's true.
within there.
Well, and in Livingston County, you have lets. You can call
When-
up
when-
lets, and they'll be at my house to take me
When
to
I-
freaking
when I was at-
Meyer.
when I
You
was
can't
at-
do that in
when
Europe.
I was
When I was
at-
in Europe. You have great trains, but
they
I'm
got
just
great
sa-
trains.
I was there. It's great, but and all the towns are connected. What I'm saying though, Catboy has transportation, whatever, but we do have great transportation in Livingston County. You have
And
a
we
let
fund
But
it.
system.
it could be better though.
Okay,
we could have more public.
Granted.
Okay,
But-
the least we could do is have just somewhat more, like better buses. I mean, the best buses we have are
Well-
like the school buses.
Okay,
I don't know
hold
those
on,
Lex
hold on.
buses that are
Hold
going
on.
by
Well, that's-
my house. It's empty with
hold on.
one old person getting on across from the apartment.
That's
it's pretty damn
When
nice.
you
bus
live in a
hold on.
rural area, you know to expect that you have to drive. If you
Or-
don't want to have to drive, then you need to not live
The
in a
next-
rural area. That's how
Yeah.
it works.
The next time
You
you
want to
go
live in a city, you live where you walk.
Kelly, the next time you go to Walmart or whatever and you see the Let's bus out there, the guy's sitting there go, can I just peek in here? They're pretty damn nice.
Yeah.
And there's one person
And
being
it's clean.
catered to.
Hold
at that,
on.
It's not packed up like they only do the route every hour and a half by real. I can call
Okay.
them up.
Sleuth Mama agrees with me.
Okay, hold on. Who at this table has lived any place else other than where they currently live, and in cities over? Okay, and in cities over, 250,000 people. Okay, so I notice our young visitor at the table is not raising his hand. Okay, so the public transportation I've moved 65 times in 45 years. The public transportation, having not driven or owned a vehicle in over 15 years. The public transportation in many places across the country is phenomenal. And I would agree that this area doesn't really fit the demographic that public transportation would get better. I've seen Let's. There are other programs like that across the country. You call them, they pick you up, especially if you have like a medical appointment, you're older, you don't actually drive, or you just want to go to public library or whatever. But yeah, there's that perspective is very experiential in what I'm hearing you say.
And realistically, there are like you can order Uber.
Uber.
Yeah, exactly. If our commissioners or
Yeah.
our city councils would approve Uber,
Yeah.
which they won't.
But
They
what's
won't
this-
because it
No.
takes money away from
That is true.
if they would approve Uber,
Oh, really?
it wouldn't be
It's
an
not
issue.
approved?
Well, we used to live in a time where, you know, Main Street, you know, like all these old towns, they have
Sure.
like a main street, they have all the side streets. You could walk like from one place in the town to the other. You could have you could have a decent job. You could have you could afford a house. You know,
When the population was 700 people, yes.
that, well, anyway, well, like in the 50s and all that, right? But now we have to have like 100K, like at least to actually make a living. You know, like with Chucky Schumer, you know, it's like, oh, I'm a rich senator. My daughter, who I definitely didn't give any money or give any financial insider trading to, bought a house in probably upper state New York, which is like probably a couple million. You know, he's like, I'm just like you normal people. But normal people these days, especially like younger people, they can't afford a house.
True.
But that's what they're doing. They're wanting to bankrupt the middle class, and that I think is on purpose because they want to get us onto the buses and the subways, and those aren't bad things in and of themselves.
I'm not for completely, you know, getting rid of cars on that. We need a fair balance between the buses and the walking and biking and just the cars, because right now everyone's just too dependent on cars. Or if your car breaks down, or if you can't get one, you're kind of fucked.
Man, this is America. You're never going to get America off
for the
cars.
15-minute city.
That's what I was just gonna say.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Like, it moved to Ann Arbor. They literally got
Yeah.
rid of my driving lanes in Ann Arbor so we could have a bike lane, and I've seen 2 bikes in 8 years in that bike lane, and I have to sit in traffic now because they got rid of one of the lanes to make that bike lane.
Yep.
So, and then they have the bus, but the bus really only takes about 5 people that I've ever seen through Ann Arbor. And when we come into this area that's more rural, if you want to live in a rural area, you got to expect you need to get a license.
Right.
If you don't want to live in a place where you can't have amenities close, then you need to move where the amenities are close.
I actually moved here to Livingston County
to get away.
away from the buses and the city. And
But we've been but there have been people living in rural areas for thousands of years.
Rural.
Why do we? The problem is we've been doing this for thousands of years. But why do we need a car now? Before then, like before the car, everyone would just be in the rural town.
They had a horse.
But
they had horses. They had horses.
Which
is a car.
Yeah. No, it's
In the
not.
old days.
It's not about. I'm going to go back to my argument. It's not about the vehicle or the implement of transportation. It's about the independence.
It's about the
It's
freedom.
about the independence.
It's about the freedom.
And Europe has never been a system of independence. It's always been feudalism or outright slavery, unless you were
Or
part
socialism.
of the master class or the lordship. And when America was founded, it was founded with "we the people."
Right.
Therefore, the greatest expression of that, I mean, it's one of our amendments in the Bill of Rights.
Oh, I'll get to that later.
Is the freedom is the right to free. Grab my. It's over there. Anyways,
I'm like scoping those
it's-
peanuts over there, Mr. Coffee. You're gonna lose them.
the right to travel was.
Did she just
So
say
they were
she's
not
scoping
thinking
a peanut?
of large scale. She was scoping your nuts, but I'm not.
Yes.
I was making a really good point.
You really were. I'm so sorry.
It's, you know,
I'm showing a little fur. That's probably what got it.
I'm so sorry.
Excited.
the times when you would want the show to have audio issues, yeah.
Maybe you should.
Kelly, you want these nuts now?
What I want to know, Jeremy.
These nuts.
Thank you for the salty nuts.
What I want to know,
Put
Jeremy.
some honey on them, honey.
Yeah.
Try for the third time.
She said salty, not sweaty.
Ew.
God.
What's wrong with you?
Or saggy.
Scoot in. You're not that
Or
fat.
You
saggy.
should have made her use the mic.
Yeah. Hey,
Why?
why did our host just
I don't
leave the
know.
set?
He's
My
getting.
hearing's messed up. All I know is you like my nuts.
I do.
I'm going to read. I'm going to read now.
Do
It's reading time.
The things you say on this show, boy, I tell you.
I mean, it's really fucked up.
Well, I wanted to know how this was the fake meatball show. We kind of
Did we get? Is that
really?
Is that going to work? Or
started
not?
off with
Tim, since he didn't let me
Sure.
rate your dinner, it was a 4.9, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
First, you
4.0
talked
is like
about fake
it's like
and
5.0 because you don't give anything a fuck. So like
It is.
Meeting them.
I made
Uh,
fake. I made fake meatballs. No, fake meatballs. I doubled
They
the
were
wrong word.
good, Tim.
Yeah. So what I started with was Jeremy's mushrooms was the beginning of the mixture, and then I had a couple extra pork chops I pureed, And then because pork and beef mixture makes a great meatball. So then I added the ground beef, breadcrumb, some actually Parmesan cheese flakes, about a 3/4 cup of cooked rice, and then blended that all together with about 4 or 5 egg. And yeah, it made a great texture. And then sear your meatballs in a pan on 3-4 sides before putting them into your
My balls got seared.
marinara sauce.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
Where you going, Larry?
What are you doing? It's not break time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can ice me and de-serrano.
I
me
mean,
then.
we have a short start. I suppose I
I
could
don't
go to
know
break.
that we're getting a break today.
Well, I have break media that's apropos. We could run it.
Is it going to play, or are we going to have that computer sound?
Oh no. Well,
I will
you
need
know
to
what?
run
I
to the
wonder. Let me test it.
Test it real quick.
I'm gonna test a break. This is not a real break, guys.
Don't go anywhere.
Oh, that is so shit. The sound is terrible.
Yep.
Sleuth is agreeing. Maybe this is so out of fucking control.
Do you hear that?
It is out of control.
Why is this sound so shit?
Dude, today's just
Did Sleuth say, are you Amish? Amish?
Amish.
Something is terribly wrong.
I guess we'll start with.
Anyway,
I was trying to find
Who's Cheddar's Steve?
Larry. You fucker.
Larry, your
We
mic
can
is still
hear you.
on. We can hear your ice. Oh, I figured out the audio. Hey guys, we went to break, by the way.
This is what
Okay.
Harry J. Sisson is telling you isn't real, doesn't exist, and is selective. Harry J. Sisson says MAGA is lying again. The new lie that Biden had to be led off stage by Obama and that he froze, but it's completely false. The video shows what actually happened, and it's not some selectively edited garbage. The lies don't stop from MAGA. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the video of him just obviously being led off of stage, so you can see for yourself that what we're seeing is absolutely true. Let's go first to clip 16. Obama and President Joe Biden offer final waves to the Peacock Theater crowd as Obama then grabs Biden's hand and leads him off stage. This is what Harry J. Sisson is telling you isn't real, doesn't exist, and is selectively edited. Let's watch. Okay. I don't see an edit yet. No edit here. No cutting away. No AI interpretation. There he is, frozen. He has stopped moving. There's Obama reaching out, tugging him. Come on, Joe. Come on. You're supposed to be leaving here. Pat him on the back. Make it look casual. Okay, literally not a single edit, not a single cut, not a single jump. This is what he calls selectively edited, highly edited deep fake, cheap fake. Okay, just a straight up video from someone's cell phone. Totally unedited, not a single cut in the entire thing. Here's what Harry J. Sisson published as the real footage, where you can see that this never happened. Clip 22. Okay. Here's Biden looking weird, looking like an old man. He's waving to the crowd. That was one cut. Obama waving. Okay. There's a second cut. Okay. He's sort of doing a Hitler salute type thing here. Okay. So wandering around, a couple cuts. This is from the official broadcast. Now, there he's frozen. Now, this is the scene where he's frozen. Oh, look, it cuts out so far you can't even see what's happening. Oh, look in that one instant where he reaches out to grab his arm and pull him, the one instant that we talk about and show on screen. They just happened to. Are you not offended? Are you not a little bit offended? I go, all right. What happened? I mean, it's fine. I mean, you can explain it. He's an old man. You know, I mean, he's saying you're stupid. That's what Harry J. Sisson is saying. He's saying you're stupid.
The distinguished gentleman from
Time's
Florida.
expired. Does any other member seek recognition?
Mr.
Chair
Chairman,
recognizes Ms. Green.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
just a-
AG.
I don't
point
think
of-
you
point
know
of
what
order.
you're here
President.
for.
Well, you the one talking about. I guess
I
you still
think your
stuck in the
fake
courtroom.
eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr.
That's
Chairman,
beneath
would
even
you please
you.
engage the order of your committee?
Order.
Please.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you
meeting will
attack the
suspend.
physical
Meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings
her
hurt?
words down.
Oh,
Girl, baby girl.
oh, really?
Don't even play. with
Baby
me.
girl?
We're
I don't
we
think
are gonna
so.
move, and we're gonna take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. But Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
needs to
recognizes
apologize. No.
Mr. Perry.
She needs to
Okay,
apologize.
hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
You're
not
retracting.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
it's
minority.
pretty
No,
self-evident.
Chair you're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
words.
I would like to strike
The
those
lady's
as well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's
control.
the correct apology. Ms. Green, do you ask unanimous? Do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Chair
Reserving the right to
recognize-
object.
No,
Chairman, I
Chair
reserve the right to
recognizes
object.
Mr.
I reserve
Perry.
the right to object.
Search warrant revealed prescription list for Covenant shooter Audrey Hale, confirms fantasies about school shooting. Search warrant served by the Metro Nashville Police Department to obtain information from Vanderbilt University Medical Center about Covenant school shooter Audrey Elizabeth Hale, obtained by the Tennessee Star, reveals Hale was prescribed at least 4 medications from VUMC staff. According to notes taken by a person who reviewed documents obtained when the search warrant was executed, Hale was given access to buspirone, Lexapro, or escitalopram, hydroxyzin, and a sodium chloride nasal spray by doctors at VUMC. Lexapro, or this other one, is a depression medication from the family of drugs known as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs. Common side effects for Lexapro include mood swings, headaches, tiredness, sleep changes, and brief feelings similar to electric shock, according to WebMD, which added that some conditions may be worse when this drug is suddenly stopped. Hydroxyzine, I think is how you pronounce that. According to the government website, Medical Line Plus is an allergy medication that can be used alone or with other medications in adults and children to relieve anxiety and tension. Don't you love the modern medical field? It's like, it's an allergy medicine, but it'll help your anxiety. What does it do? They're like, we don't know. You know they don't know why some of these things work or if they work. I mean, SSRIs at this point, it's admitted they don't actually work, but they still have massive side effects. They do something. They certainly change your brain chemistry. It's just how and what effect it has. They don't know. They actually don't know. And that's been admitted over and over. They just come up with something. They give it to somebody. The person goes, yeah, I think I feel better. And they're like, great, it's an antidepressant now. It's crazy, but that's how it works. Concrete information about the medication Hale was using at the time of her devastating attack, which claimed the lives of 3 9-year-old students and 3 adults at Covenant School, remains sparse, as blood tests conducted for Hale's autopsy did not appear to include screens to detect the types of medication revealed from the search warrant. However, Medical News Today reports that using Lexapro and buspirone simultaneously, or Lexapro and hydroxyzine simultaneously, can, quote, increase the risks of side effects from both Lexapro and the other drugs, meaning Hale's mental state could have been adversely impacted at the time of her March 27, 2023 attack. So you've got this person who basically, it seems, and we'll get into this as the stories continue, seems to have been brainwashed into mental illness, seemed to have been pressured by her school and the media and the culture to be deeply unhappy with herself and her body and her place in the world and the world at large, hating Christianity, hating just everything that the media and the liberal establishment tells you to hate. She's been brainwashed into this hateful, miserable, despicable mindset, and then given a variety of drugs to deal with it, all of which have various dangerous side effects. And when combined, those side effects are maximized and expanded. Covenant killer Audrey Hale called herself white nothingness and wrote about a romantic desire for, quote, brown girls in a recovered journal. So you can just go down the list of things that the left loves and is all about. And this is the ultimate outcome. This is the ultimate expression of all of these things. She hates white people. She hates women and men. She hates Christians. They love psychiatry. They love medication. I mean, she is the poster child for the modern liberal establishment.
This is my brain.
No.
All right. We're back. Except for Larry, who's walking up with his microphone on as it dangles down his chest. Makes noise.
I turned it off. Right when you said we could hear the ice, I reached down and I turned the mic.
Yeah, and I muted you too. Let's see here.
I'm gonna tell her I had mentioned that.
Yeah. What Sleuth Mama want to know?
Do you have a call?
Can you hear me now?
I said I mentioned it. I'm just gonna say I mentioned it.
Listen, Sleuth Mama, I appreciate that. We would have to do a separate show because
Just get Tim's phone out.
Sleuth Mama
Tim,
can call
put
me
your phone out.
anytime.
I'll send out.
I can't even keep track of the 6 people sitting at this table plus Tim, and you want to open up a phone line.
Tim, what's your phone? What's your phone number?
We need a phone line. That would be fun.
It would be great.
No, let's just eat chips while we talk. No, crack them right over top of your microphone. No, you don't need to move the microphone. It's going to pick it up really, really well.
That's why you don't.
If I hear you cracking or crunching, I might come punch you. Do you
Remember
remember that
Kelly's-
day I
Remember
walked
Kelly's
away?
thing? All right, let's get back to this. Welcome back after the break. That was a good break, media. Thank you, Tim.
You can hear Larry.
You can hear Larry. So we've bandied about, talked about maybe doing another show where we do some calls and stuff like that. It would have to be far more disciplined than what we do on a Tuesday night rant because this is so scattered and.
Well, tonight's been a little unique.
Yes, it has. It has.
Patrick
I
would
don't know
donate
what
his
the
phone.
big deal is. If you don't like
Right,
the call,
Patrick?
you hang up.
Would you donate your phone and we have him call in at 9 to 9:30?
Well, you could just
Yeah,
just get like a spoof phone number, like Text Now. There's like a lot of like spoof phone number sites that you could just use as like a actual phone for the show.
I just
Listen, we
I just
barely
use a
pay
Google.
attention to
We
chat.
do have a phone number
I
here.
pay attention
We do.
to chat. How dare you?
I already have a studio line.
Yeah, we do
don't
have
share
a
it.
studio line,
We've
and
done
we
it before.
have done it before.
Moving on. Teddy, get us some strange news. We're gonna have to condense it though, buddy.
I-
Even more than you were gonna like. Just give me the.
All right, so it's not really
Cliff's notes.
strange history today. We are comparing the fall of the Roman Empire to the current state of the United States of America. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's open this. All right, so we all know that our republic was basically founded on the original. Auto cut off.
No, you're still on.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we all know that our republic was founded on like the ideals of the Roman Republic, right? You know, vote for the people, most people.
Yes, yes.
Republicanism, right? So eventually the Roman Republic fell, and we had the Roman Empire, and then we had the Roman Empire, and that fell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think the Roman Empire fell?
Decadence.
Decadence.
And corruption.
Corruption.
And they basically decadence and corruption,
Well,
but they
I'm going to say a few like reasons, and we're going to compare and contrast, right?
Okay.
So the first and main one is barbarian invasion and immigration.
Yes.
Correct.
Do you know that the Romans, most of the Roman Empire, the late Empire, Western Empire, were called foederati, and they were basically mercenaries from the Germans. The Germans invaded Rome and sacked the city. Well, no one in the Roman citizenry wanted to join the army at the time of the late Empire, so they just paid all these German mercenaries to do it. In return, the Germans could flood into the Roman lands and settle there.
Correct.
Right? And I don't know if anyone's heard of this, but there's been some word about going around where illegal immigrants
Are
that
going to
serve
be
in the military can get
their citizenship. Yep.
That's true. Military or police force?
Military.
They're opening it. No, they're opening it up to police.
Oh, police force.
Police
now?
force too. Yeah.
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 Typical. And we all know where, you know, their loyalties are probably questionable. You know,
At
They're-
best.
At best. Right. Like just like, you know, if the Germans had if they're fighting against their own, if they got paid more money, they just turn on the Romans, right? Or just sack like the nearest
Absolutely.
Roman city. Right?
I heard about that police force for the immigrants, and it made me think of the loyalties for those police members would be pretty much the same as any Mexican police forces, whoever benefited them the most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go, Teddy.
And we
Finish
have
up.
inflation, right? We have rampant inflation in the Roman Empire, right?
Correct.
Their silver has been debased, and they're just using bronze and copper coinage, right? Kind of like what the U.S. dollar is, especially now when the petrodollar agreement with Saudi Arabia just ended.
And case in point, they didn't have a paper currency
Yeah.
with the Roman Empire, but they took to taking their coinage and cutting it into pieces.
Yeah.
Because overvaluing it, because they did the same thing with their actual coins.
Right.
Is they they would make them the lead with the coverings and stuff like that.
Another thing, the political instability and the corruption of the elite.
Yes.
We have this right now. While I would say Trump isn't a Caesar, he's like a Gracchi brother, right? He was the first Roman Republic before it fell was like basically power struggle between the people, the plebs, and the establishment elite, the patricians, right? Who would have more rights, who had more power. And so the patricians hated Caesar, but at first, before Caesar, before Sulla, before all that, the first people that were like starting the actual people movement for the people were the Gracchi brothers, right? They wanted to redistribute farmland from like the elite, and give people more rights, more vote, more say in their government.
Even going back to a more
and they were assassinated by the Roman Senate and their pavelings, right?
Yeah. Even wanting to go back to a more Greek idea of a republic, even before the Roman Republic, because the Greek system was not perfect in any way, but they would pick any person from among their local population to serve.
Yeah.
And they would rotate people. And you could do a couple things if you didn't want to serve, but the vast majority of the people, if you got picked to serve, you went and served.
Also, we have political instability and civil wars. We have never been more divided and close to a civil war than since the Civil War, right? We are proud, it's like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we're divided, like, red state, blue state, national divorce, like MGT was saying, right? So we're close to that. We cannot agree on anything. We're so far apart ideologically and all that.
Yeah.
That it's just like something is going to happen, probably during the 2024 election.
That's fine.
That's fine. What else? And then we have, as we said, divide empire. We have inferior technology, disrupted trade. What's going on, like China, Red Sea, the supply chain crisis, all that. That's happening right now. That's causing inflation. And
final point on strange history with Teddy.
Final point. Christianity. Now, the reason why the Roman Empire, part of the Roman Empire collapsed is because the new Christian religion was colliding with the established pagan system and religion, right? Well, now we have a Christian-based system, right? But what's coming in is this progressive ideology / religion of progress, and we got to keep moving forward, technology and socially, where we got to disregard the old Christian system and collapse our society into this new. And I'm not comparing progressivism to like Christianity and like the really early Roman Empire. It's just there's this new movement, quasi-religious movement of progressivism and woke, where it's like, oh, in the name of the science, the Fauci and the vaccine, a woman with an X. And so the parallels between the fall of our republic and the fall of the Roman Republic / Empire are very clear. And
if you look at it up there on my monitor, since our other monitors aren't working, there are the Roman coins that they would cut in half because they debased their currency.
They were already debased. They were silver and gold, but they were already debased. And so they had these copper coins.
Yeah.
And they would still cut them.
Whoops. So one of the things they would do in the Roman Empire is they would mix inferior metals into the metals I think that's one of the reasons those are black, because they would tarnish much quicker.
Yeah.
Whereas we have just simply in America have debased our currency with fiat paper. Whereas in the Roman Empire, they just added inferior metals into the gold and silver.
And one more thing.
Hmm?
Any
You're talking about FRNs, Federal Reserve notes.
That's what I said. Yes.
one more thing.
Yes.
Any competent Roman Empire for the most part, or any politician like Caesar, Aurelian, what was his name? The last Flavian dynasty. I can't remember.
No. Now you said Flavian, I know
The last of the Flavians, right?
Yeah.
All loved by the people, all very competent rulers. Most Roman competent rulers were overthrown and killed by the Praetorian Guard and backed by the Senate, and the Senate would appoint a puppet emperor that was corrupt and inefficient and incompetent, basically.
Like what?
And that's how the last Roman emperor was this guy named Honorius. He was for 40 years one of the most longest-serving Roman emperor. Puppet of the Germans, and the Senate did nothing but live his own fantasies like a depraved, maniac, and the whole Western. And he killed the one man, Majorian, who was this general who was like defeating the Huns, the Germans. He killed this guy who was going to save the Western Roman Empire, and then it all collapsed.
Was there any? Was there any notation? No, I'm trying to think of the Flavian. It's escaping me. Anyways, was there any recorded history of that last Roman Empire shitting themselves in public?
Honorius?
Yeah.
Maybe just regarding him.
Falling upstairs.
But he would have like everyone worship his chicken, and you like hear more about where his pet chicken was, and the Germans taking like the key to like Italy and all that, Ravenna.
So close to the shitter in chief we have now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was younger and actually, could have actually done something, while our current, I would say, consul is controlled by the puppet masters or cabal of people that are actually just controlling him. Like it's like, a nursing home.
Right. Isn't that what the White House is right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And apparently from some people are saying this, I can't say if this is true or fiction, but he's walking around naked, doesn't know where he is. It's like what we saw in the video. Like Obama's just helping him go over the stage. Coffee said there was like footprints. We see like the note papers, like you go to the table, you sit down, you shake hands with whoever. You say a few words, you get up.
4 more years.
Come on, man.
Pause.
You saw what he did today, right? When he was like,
The mission, yeah, the mission.
Yeah.
I knew it started with B. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
You don't wanna
Catching up
know.
on chat?
You don't want to know. You do not want to know. They are absolutely upset that you insulted my job integrity.
Your
All of
job
them.
integrity?
Every single one of them is like revolting at this very moment.
Did I insult your job integrity?
That's what they say.
Sleuth Mama
What-
wants
what'd
to
they say?
worship a bucket
Hey,
of
wait a
chicken.
minute. I insulted your job integrity.
And then Jeremy did too. These people are just. They've had
What's
enough.
your job?
They're-
I didn't even know you had a job.
I
What's
don't.
He's
I
the
just
chat
made that up.
monitor.
I got your attention.
what's in chat?
Oh, they're listening to whatever, and somebody had a bucket of chicken. I want to Sleuth Mama, whoever. I want to worship a chicken, and then Stu Baker said a bucket of chicken, and Obama Sleuth Mama said they're out of control. I don't know what they're.
They are out of control.
Imagine, it's
Just,
not.
the
They do
just
love
chat
us
people.
all.
They do love us.
So
but
a few
these chat
minutes
people are
ago,
crazy.
you guys were talking about illegal aliens, and it reminded me that this morning on AM 910, I was listening to Justin Barclay, and he had Whitmer on a hot mic talking about how important it is to get driver's licenses to illegal aliens. Or I'm sorry,
Migrants.
newcomers.
Undocumented migrants. Newcomers.
Yeah, undocumented newcomer people of color.
Yeah.
These are pronouns.
Illegal aliens.
Illegals.
Yeah.
Did you hear that they apprehended 68 people at the border?
How many?
Those 68. And all 68 of them were sex offenders. They were charged and
All of
criminally
them.
Yes, I
convicted
did
with
hear
sex
about that.
offenses.
And we have dozens.
62 of them, so 91% of the people apprehended were child rapists.
They should run for Congress.
Convicted child rapists.
And dozens connected to ISIS.
Did you see the last rape and murder of the 13-year-old girls? Wherever the guy with a machete and took them into the woods, tied them up, and raped them?
Yep.
That was just a couple days ago. Illegal.
Oh, right here.
We've had it in Livingston County.
Which?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
this one was whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, a girl here in Livingston County was raped by an illegal.
In October.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one was whatever. I saw it on the news.
Did you did you hear
This
that?
is Democrats America.
Did you
It's
hear
what
that?
they want?
Did you hear that a lot of the children that were being tested for their paternal connection to the parents that they were being brought across the border with were failing over 85% of the time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because
The
they're
children
fighting.
were just, and that the same children were showing up over and over and over and over again.
Remember last fall when I said they'd lost 80,000 children? Now they're up to 216,000 children.
Yep.
Lost. Don't know where they went.
We don't know. There
It's
go.
just the conspiracy theory. The Great Replacement isn't real.
Except for we have on hot mic the
Mhm.
governor
No, we
of
just-
what was it, New Mexico, talking about how
No, we just
baby producers.
They come
Baby
over here
producers,
and we
yes.
give.
Baby
No, we
producers.
just want to give them driver's licenses and the right to vote in local elections. That's all. That's all what's
No,
going to
that's-
happen. It
that's
won't
not
go
all.
down another slippery
They
slope.
also want to give them $2,200 in Social Security plus Medicare, etc.
I'll never see Social
Remember,
Security.
remember, Polderati, Rome paid Germans for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
You will live in your tiny house and eat the bugs and do the job you are assigned. You will. It will happen.
You will own nothing and
You will
like
own
it.
nothing and be
She
happy.
will owns nothing and you will like it. I'm trying to find this because somebody sent it to me.
So now that I fixed my audio issue,
Yes.
Larry, now that I fixed my audio issue, our usual never apologize.
And I think that people out here would do well, if you're watching, to understand that apologies do nothing with these monsters.
That is Crowder, who we have been using for quite a long time.
Are your
Move
feelings
her
hurt?
words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby, girl.
Oh, really, baby? Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again.
Girl,
We're gonna,
I don't
we
think
are going to move and we're going to take your words down.
I'm not
Has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're not
reserve the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
You're
not
nerve-wracking.
apologizing.
Chair
Chairman.
recognizes Ms. Green.
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Reserving the right to object. Let's go.
MTG is such a badass.
I love him.
So,
Uh,
so the clip that played at break, for those who were watching, was
Yeah.
the real-time interaction between all of them. I'm going to have a shorter version of that with MTG refusing to apologize as our new never apologize soundbite for
Next
our
time I
open.
don't.
Apology. When you apologize, you open yourself up for the attack.
Never
Next time I don't agree with you, I'm going to be like, oh, baby girl.
Well, the beginning of that debate started with the MTG saying to AOC, "Why don't you debate me?" And the AOC was, "Well, it's self-evident," like quoting the document. It's
You're like,
self-evident. Yeah, it's self-evident. You don't have enough intelligence to do so.
Exactly.
That's
Well,
what
I'm quite hurt that you compared me to AOC. I thought I'd be a little bit smarter than her. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, I say a lot of crazy stuff, but
No
I thought I
comparison.
had some brain cells in there. I think the
I
brain
don't know
worm's got to me.
I wouldn't take it personally, Teddy.
I think she is actually the dumbest woman in America.
No,
I don't believe she's the dumbest.
I don't think she's the dumbest. I've seen
In
some dumber
office.
people.
No, there are people that voted for her.
AOC?
there's people who voted for her. There you go.
There are people that voted for her.
So there's got to be
Well,
dumb.
that's true.
This
She's
is
an
true.
actress. She was hired for the position.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Much like a local Conlin person.
Well, remember how she was like running on these progressive stuff, and then she votes for like Biden and all like the Ukraine funding,
No,
and
I
like
don't
all
remember. I try not to remember
Like-
what AOC does.
like the squad, right? They're just like the rhinos of the Democrat Party. Like, oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna do all these progressive things, and then we're just gonna vote for Biden, Schumer, and all these like warmongering corporatism things.
What do we have
Yeah.
here in our state? Oh, Rashithead Tlaib.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's
Is
more.
that- Did I pronounce that incorrectly?
There's
No,
more
that's-
than her.
That's right, the pronunciation.
Oh, I thought
We
she
have a lot. Debbie Dingle.
Ding-
Debbie Dingle.
Debbie Ding Dong,
Barry.
Debbie Ding Dong.
Dingleberry.
Dingleberry. Let's look at this. Let's look at this.
Don't forget
And
about that Stevens lady. What's her name over there? Livonia?
I don't know.
Don't say let's look at this and not have it up on the wall feed. Because I have hit the
When
button.
I say look at this,
I literally
I'm
hit the
trying to
button
get their
immediately.
attention first.
Now we got stuck with that piece of garbage slut.
And I want to get Patrick's take on some of this. But the Michigan Supreme Court to hear election rules argument. This is from today. This actual article is. The Michigan Supreme Court will hear arguments today on rules covering partisan challengers and poll watchers on Election Day. Lower courts have already ruled with Republicans that Democrat Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, not a scissor sister or a muff diver, did not hold required public hearings before challenging the rules.
And
Did
you
I get the
can't
right
say-
person?
You can't say Dyke on the
You
show.
can't say Dyke.
No.
Okay, we didn't say it.
No, but we're not talking about the Attorney General.
Muff
Oh, wait, Secretary of State? I thought all three of them were.
I really need to point out that while they did have a judge rule in their favor, no
Mhm.
one's enforced.
Yes.
Correcting anything. It's all for show.
Court ruled against him. He said they made their ruling. Let's see him enforce it. You know, unless
it.
we have an honest judiciary that will follow the rulings of the court, it is ultimately
What it boils down to is Congress never approved a single freaking thing they changed in 2020.
Correct.
Still to this day have not approved it.
Correct.
And the 9 days pre-voting is against the complete and total
Well, now you have your
Constitution
representative
of the
republic. Let's
state
see
of
if you can
Michigan.
keep it.
No, it's our democracy now. What are you talking about?
Yes, CNN has officially come out and said that if you say it's a representative republic or a constitutional republic, you are a conspiracy theory because it always has been a democracy.
The same channel that said that God wasn't in the Constitution.
Correct.
Correct. The same channel that says that us claiming our rights came from our deity. Oh wait, that's what
what I'm
it
talking
says.
about.
Yes, yes.
How can you graduate from high school and not know that the United States of America is not now and never has been a democracy?
Well, when the Heartland
Because all they care about is cutting off kids' genitals.
AP government teacher has a communist Chinese flag in a prominent position in the front of the classroom and not
Yes.
an American flag.
Because you went to
That
high
is
school.
how.
Because you went to high school after 1965.
That is
Correct.
Heartland schools.
Plaintiffs include the GOP Election Day volunteers, the Michigan Republican Party, and Republican National Committee. They say a list of rules and procedures issued in May of 2022 is not valid because much of it violates state election laws and was never promulgated under the Michigan Administrative Procedures Act. Quote, the lower courts reached the right results for the right reasons in a run-of-the-mill Administrative Procedural Act case, said the GOP's brief in that case. Also that Democrat and Republican parties alike and their affiliated challengers have exercised these rights for decades and for good reason. The presence of election challengers and meaningful exercise of their rights are vital to instilling confidence in the electoral process. Patrick, commentary on this one, please.
Well, the problem is that if you go in as a poll challenger, number one, you don't really have access to these ballots. You get to stand over there. You can't see anything standing over there. We are not pushing people to come in as poll challengers. We want poll workers. Why? Because as a poll worker, I'm looking at this ballot on every one of them. I'm looking at them. Okay. Second, the people that challenge are the ones that get beat down. Actually, they've been put on notice that if they do try to challenge anything, there could be litigation against them. Most people don't have the funding to be able to support going after or fighting off the Attorney General Nessel here in the state. So they don't want to do it.
So they're being intimidated, being told that if you challenge the validity of a ballot,
yeah.
And these are we're talking about the difference between somebody who's we walk into our precinct, we fill out our ballot, we submit it, we give them the thing. Once it goes into the machine, and I'm not talking about, but just the reader machine, the register machine, at a certain point, it comes back, or somebody has to sit down and physically look at it, potentially, right?
Right.
Those are the people we're talking about that we're citing is that they're not allowed to examine them for real, correct?
The workers can examine them. The poll challengers don't get to.
And they should be.
Article 7, Section 3. It shall be the ministerial, clerical, non-discretionary duty of a board of canvassers and each individual member thereof to certify election results based solely on certified statements of votes from counties. In the case of boards, county canvassers, statements of return from the precincts and absent voter counting boards in the county, and any corrected returns. You're allowed to challenge anything. You're allowed to.
Right. Well, the Democrats just changed the
regardless
law.
of what no, they can't. It's not congressionally changed. They can't legislate without legislative law. And they are legislating without legislative law. This is the Constitution. It literally says you don't need money to challenge these ballots. You don't need money to challenge.
There are several things. Christy Caramo walked into a gymnasium at the University of Michigan in downtown Ann Arbor, where you live, okay, where they had a line of people out the door around the block, and they were registering them to vote till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
It was supposed to cut off at 8 o'clock. They were giving them free pizza and pop to come on in. Okay.
You were 100%
Christina
right.
Caramo said this is not legal. They said our Secretary of State said it is.
And so we need to remove the Secretary of State
Well,
for
absolutely.
violating her oath of office and dereliction of duty and malfeasance of her job.
Correct.
Right.
And that's what
But
this
that's
But
part
we
of
live
this
in
whole
a
thing
communist
is.
state in a dictatorship where we're not allowed to challenge
Right.
the dictators.
We live in a fallacy. If we have states,
It's all fake.
no, if we have states that are like,
There we go.
sorry, if we have states and people are like, oh, you don't need to show your ID to vote, then we live in a fallacy.
Oh, it's ridiculous. You gotta have your ID to get alcohol, to get cigarettes, to drive a car,
Concert
to do
tickets.
all these things.
Paycheck.
Concert tickets, yeah. But you don't have to have an ID to go vote?
Yeah.
It's fucking ludicrous on its face.
And in regards to 2020, if you think, oh, I'm gonna vote harder and we'll fix everything, there's so much you can do voting that if like the system is gonna like print ballots and go honk honk, then the best thing you can do is just stop participating in this ritual.
I'll disagree. I think we need to overwhelm the ballots until it collapses.
Well, we've learned from our mistakes too. We need more people like him to watch everything.
Correct.
Watch everything.
And we need every
And
conservative.
we need to not be afraid to challenge these,
Correct.
the honking, because like I said earlier before the show started, we have so many people that are just status, right? They're like, Mr. FBI, my brother questioned the election and was at January 6th. Can you please arrest him and send him to prison for 20 years? There are people like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that there are so many people that will, turn their own family in to the government and have them in solitary confinement for a decade or two is nuts. It's like communist East Germany or, USSR.
We've
where you
got
have like
people-
20% of the people that are snitching on their family, friends, because they questioned Big Brother and the system.
Yeah.
We're talking about voting here. There are precincts in the Genesee County area that in the upcoming primary election, they won't give you a Republican ballot. You walk in there, you show them your ID, you're registered to vote, and you want to vote Republican. Sorry, you only get a Democratic. Well, I know what those precincts are. And guess what? I'm going to be there. And I have Dominic Clemens' cell number, and we've already discussed it. And I will call him, and he will come there as well. Some people will be going to jail over this kind of stuff. I am not putting up with it at all.
Right. And that's what we have to do.
Just be careful. Don't let them take you off to jail.
I would like for everybody.
Well, they can't exactly.
This is
do
important.
that.
This is important.
I'm the chairman of the Election Integrity Committee. Number one. Number two, I have a relationship with the clerks throughout the entire.
Yeah, but isn't the sheriff in Genesee County a Democrat?
No, actually, he's not.
He's not.
He's not. He pretends that he's a Democrat, but I know him. He's actually very much, and he's looking at running for governor.
Huh.
Wow.
What's his name? What's his name?
Well, don't tell people what's going on.
Well, I can look.
One more
up
thing.
the-
I would encourage
Sure.
the audience and everyone here to look up the Battle of Athens, 1956 in Tennessee. Anyone know what that is?
I'm still thinking
No,
about that.
that'll be another. I'll get into it, but that'll be another strange history fact.
Battle of what?
Battle of Athens, like Greece, but in Tennessee.
What year? 54?
1946.
46.
Battle of Athens, 1946. It's when we had this Democrat machine, political machine, that were taking over the ballot boxes and rigging the vote. Like actually. And these World War II vets that just got home and see what's going on, where the Democrats are rigging the vote, like for the political machine, they armed themselves and they took over the courthouse and they made sure that the ballots were counted fair
So
and
it's
that there was
50
no corruption.
56, not 46.
Was it 56?
Well, it can't be 46 and after World War II.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
1946. World War II ended in
46
1945.
ended in 45 in
Oh,
June.
45. You're right. My bad.
To give you
Dang
an
it, I'm
idea of
fixing it
what
again.
the sheriff is like in Genesee County, back during COVID, there was a veteran barber who said, "I'm not shutting down. This is bullshit."
Yeah, he was on this show.
Oh, okay. He had the militia out in front of his place.
Yeah.
Okay. But, Whitmer sent the state police there to shut that down.
Yeah.
The sheriff
Was
we're
in
talking about
line to
showed
get his
up.
haircut.
He showed up and he said to the state police, "This is my jurisdiction. This is my battle.
Yeah.
You guys leave. I'm handling this."
Yeah.
And when they left, he turned to the militia and said, "Can a man get a haircut here?"
Exactly.
That's why it's so important for you to vote for the right sheriff.
Yeah.
They are the law.
The only thing that matters, and I said this last time I was here, is that you vote locally. What matters? It's not federal, it's not state, it's local. If we get the right people in the local offices, right, then we can make sure that a lot of things, at least in our area, are actually running smoothly
Well,
and securely.
Well, there are 3 counties
Yeah.
in the state of Michigan that decided that because of the sheriffs, that they are Second Amendment friendly.
Exactly. We
counties.
need more people like that.
Livingston's one of them.
Exactly.
And like what you're saying about the mayor, how only like what 26% of people actually like voted in the mayor election? How
22. I thought it
22.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but you had Dumb and Dumber running in the race.
But if we get
Yeah.
but if we get more people to actually care about our local races,
22%.
you know, then we can
26.7. I followed it very
if we get more people to care about our local races in our county and all that, right? Then we can actually be like Second Amendment sanctuary. Hey, Whitmer. Hey, Biden. We're not going to listen to you. We're going
Right.
to stand up for what we believe in.
Right.
Instead of like these
It's-
rhinos and these fake Republicans, we're like, oh, well, I'll just go along with it because we need to be bipartisan.
You know what? 26%
Leave Mike Mueller alone.
of registered voters showing up to an election.
I've had words-
You
Hold
could
on, hold
have
on.
a write-in
I've had words with Mike.
for
But he's a good guy.
40% take an election.
Yeah.
You know, literally, if you had an activist
What-
write-in for 40%, take an election because only 24 or 6% show up to vote.
True. What's happening
Yeah.
is in this country is we're and this is not mainstream media. This is true media. We're swinging back to an involved we the people. I don't want to say electorate. I don't even want to say citizenry. I don't want to use any of those terms. It's enshrined in our Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. We the people, and we are swinging back to we the people. Individuals being involved. Now they like to interview these idiots and whatever other term I could use to disparage them, who don't even know what the capital of their own state is and don't know, where they would sign a petition wanting to ban H2O because it sounds bad.
Oh,
Have you seen the U-turn signs?
Yeah, they had them.
They're like taking down U-turn signs on like
Yeah.
California because it offends certain people.
Yes.
Well,
and
I,
so
I had media on that one specifically, by the way.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at is I'm seeing more and more people getting involved in these, just what you're talking about, the local. And that's the dynamic we have
Patrick,
to return
watch your
to
mic,
is understanding that we have to get back to local involvement, to these local races, not neglect state and federal, but really be focused and educated on these locals. I am going to do this. I'm going to give, I'm going to say this for our audience out there, which are a lot of you out there, our audience are local. I will be giving my take on candidates, not to influence your vote, but to let you know why I'm looking at things throughout our county. The ones that particularly impact me. I'm not doing that tonight, but I will do that before the primary. I will maybe do a special show where I will discuss these things because I want people to be informed, you know.
Maybe brainstorm him.
To give a for instance, not my commissioner, but a phenomenal guy, which we've talked about, Heartland. We've already done this. Wes Nakagiri is a man of the people. He shows up to meetings. He advocates for constitutional rights. He's phenomenal.
Yes.
If you are in the Heartland area, if you're in his district, Wes Nakagiri is phenomenal. He's been on this show multiple times, and I'm not endorsing him just because he's been on the show, but because he's not my commissioner, I can safely throw him out as an example of somebody in our county who is one of our 9 very good commissioners. Not by and large, all of our commissioners, I think they voted unanimously for Sanctuary City. They voted good. There's a few of them that, you know, maybe, but I know Wes is phenomenal. If you're in his district, make sure you turn out and vote for him. Make sure you're there in droves, because he's going to be one of the commissioners that maintains our county. I've had multiple conversations with him. I've had him send me documents. I've sent him documents. We've had correspondence because he's one of the county commissioners. I've also had a lot of interaction with other commissioners. They're doing a good job in our county. Can they do a better job? Maybe a couple of them. But overall, we've got a good board of county commissioners.
Yeah, Jay Drick, you've got Wes Nakagiri, of course, who is my commissioner, who is probably leads the pack. In Livingston County, I think he's a SAGI member.
Yeah, if we don't pay attention and we don't think
with cat dude.
Yeah, if we don't pay attention and we don't feel that it matters, one of these people that do not represent us, that represent their agenda and their political ideology and their religion.
We also have Roger Deep.
They're cultists. They could get in there if we're not paying attention. And then they're flipping dynamics up and they're ignoring the constituency. They're ignoring people. Teddy?
Well, I was just looking at chat, and my good friend John Bovey was saying what I've been saying, is that most conservatives and Republicans are as bad, if not worse, than the Democrats. They are fake opposition, really. It's like, okay, we have MTG, we have Boebert, right? But can you name any other like actual Republican besides Boebert, Gates, and MTG that are actually like standing up for what we believe in?
Well, I can give you Rand
It's like
Paul, who's fighting. He's the predominant senator who's fighting against Fauci. But yes,
But
yes.
that's like our actual guys in the Congress,
Yeah.
and all these other places, including county too, local, are just fake opposition, and they're weak, right? Look at all the Republicans that voted for aid on Ukraine. Mike Johnson, he's like, he got in because he's like, oh, I'm not going to give aid to Ukraine. Gives aid to Ukraine, right? And most of the Republicans vote for him. So what we got to do is try to reach out to like the Republicans and the mainstream conservatives and say, hey, these people are just as bad as the Democrats. Vote for someone who actually cares about America and wants to actually give our people, what we earn in money. Like actually cares. It wants to shut down the border. Doesn't want to get foreign aid.
And that takes a lot of vetting. That takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of involvement. And that's what we try to do.
That's one of the problems of Trump is he endorses mostly, for the most part, just terrible choices. He's had a few good.
And we discussed that last week where he's being advised incorrectly.
Well, it's Jared for the most part in his circle, but I agree with John Bovey. Most Republicans are just the same as Democrats. The uniparty, one party, uniparty state.
Agreed. It's part of the Hegelian dialectic. What else we got going on in chat other than John Bovey? Your microphone. What do you? You're covering your hat.
Yeah. Facebook's going at it with John Bovey.
Are you going back and forth with John Bovey?
I am about ready to fucking bitch slap him across the. Yeah, I did drop the first F-bomb too.
There you go.
I don't think that was the first one,
but he is so off base, and his perspective is only his wealthy perspective. There are many reasons why people can't pull their children out of school. Many.
Oh, is that what's going on in there? Talking
Yes,
about
he's
school?
arguing with me about school board, and I have the intention of running for school board.
Mhm.
So he's basically slapping me in the face by saying me doing my little part in my little town to try to do what I can to make things better for the people around me is bullshit. And I'm sitting here saying, then why don't you do something? Step up. Step up and run for something. Make change in your community. Don't sit there and run your mouth at me. Tell me that I'm a conservatard when you're not doing anything. What are you doing? What are you running for? What are you making change for? You can make all the names and all the rhinos and all the blah, blah, blah you want to do, but step up and do something. Put your money where your mouth is.
I don't think
Is there-
I don't think conservatard flows off the tongue.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was called.
No, I know, but libtard just sounds way better.
No, and
It's getting a little feisty up in here.
yeah, and then
There's 3 decent Corona bottles down there. You might have to hand me one. In case I need to throw it.
And we were talking, about what's going on with the commissioners, Livingston County and Heartland. And I need everybody
Having
to
a woman moment.
understand-
Sorry. Give me a moment. Fuck you.
It was that estrogen burger last week.
Well, anyways, we have to make sure everybody understands that in the school races in Heartland, it's important. Tiffany Baird and
Jeff
Angela
Scott.
Yarber and Jeff Scott,
Yep.
they are the conservative candidates.
Correct.
All right. They're the ones that are endorsed by all the conservative leaders in the county. Then you have another ticket. There's 3 of them, and one of them is Cindy Shaw, and that's the only name I'm going to mention. Right? But Cindy Shaw is on this ticket, right? None of these people have a single endorsement from a conservative leader. And Cindy Shaw's voting record is one that the Sage would be proud of. She even voted to keep rainbow flags in Heartland schools.
We call that the occupation flag.
That's right.
Have any of the Clean the Slate people, besides Glenn, actually tried to clean the slate?
Yes.
Greg and Glenn both.
Greg
have
and Glenn?
worked.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you get a chance,
They did get the rainbow, the occupation rainbow
Occupa-
LGBTQ
Yeah.
cult flag out of
Yeah.
that's why they're
schools.
so upset. Is and they focus on Harlem. But if you get a chance, go on YouTube to last night's school board meeting and fast forward to when Glenn gets a chance after the whatever.
Yeah.
He gives them a good slapping because they just parroted. It's amazing. You have to see what he says. It was a good one.
What
Glenn.
John is saying, though, is that most of our Republicans, they are as bad as the Democrats, right?
Yes.
Mike Johnson, all the other rhinos and wannabe MAGA, they will support Israel bombing children, Ukraine getting another 200 billion, bazillion, and more, LGBT,
No
trans
disagreement there.
stuff.
No
because,
disagreement.
oh, I don't want to be big. I don't want to be homophobic or bigoted or anything. I can't. I have to let the left push me along instead
Correct.
of what my own constituents believe.
Correct. No disagreement there. The only
Yeah,
disagreement is that that the disagreement for me would come into where we withdraw from everything. Until the system collapses, we need to fight where we can.
We withdraw from the stuff that doesn't matter. Federal, state, we focus on local, right? We have someone like her run for school board, clean the slate. If we get elected like the free conservatives on school board with Glenn and Greg, then the slate can be cleaned, right?
Correct.
So we just gotta. I disagree with John on that. We gotta focus on local stuff. That's what matters. That's where they can't rig everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
they don't have enough tentacles.
Our people live there, and we would be sure that they wouldn't rig it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody just made the statement here that Greg is the only one who voted yesterday that the superintendent is not effective. Well, what about Glenn and Michelle?
Glenn abstained, and Michelle voted that he was not mostly effective, but he was effective.
They literally had to sit there and listen to the Saggies talk about how the teachers rated them poorly for 2 hours. So I'm pretty sure they were done and over it at this point. And when you don't have majority on the board, you have no say. You have no power. You have no movement.
Yeah, but you don't sell out.
No,
Correct.
you don't.
Glenn just abstained because he was so pissed off. Greg voted no, and Michelle said, "You're not mostly effective. You're effective, but whatever."
He's effective at lying to the community and
Correct.
hiding things. He's very effective at that.
being an asshole.
It's pretty strong words, Larry.
Well, at least I didn't say
Would
fuck
the
And oh, honey child, you have not seen a meltdown from me. I promise you.
oh, baby girl.
Oh, baby girl. All right. So chat's getting feisty.
So
table's getting feisty.
Would the Saggies have been up there for 2 hours if I would have fucking remembered to show up and film
Right?
that thing?
I forgot to go too.
And you know what?
forgot
I
about
have
it.
a group of friends at this table who might have been able to call or remind me and say, "Hey, you going to the school board meeting and film that?"
Yeah.
Hey, you know
But
what?
nobody
I
keeps
was-
me in line.
Yeah, nobody reminded me
Hey,
either.
Tim, you know what
wanted-
happened? Tim, I was asked by
I'm buying a car tomorrow, so fuck y'all. I'm going to drive there myself and make sure I get it done.
Tim, I was asked yesterday about, I don't know, 4 o'clock. Is Tim's camera going to be there? I go,
By who?
I should call him, but usually they'll call me and I give
Great.
a ride.
Damn,
the last
dude.
time,
If
and
you would
nobody
have
called
called,
me.
I would have snagged that
Hey, Mr.
camera.
Coffee.
I just assumed.
Done it. Nope.
Stacey, it's a phone
I forgot.
with a
I
camera.
forgot.
Usually
and
the
you
phone-
can film it yourself.
No.
Yeah, but it's very intimidating to take
dude.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
that
camera.
and put a 320-pound man behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and stand off to the side
Yeah.
where you can see
their
whole
face. Yes.
That intimidates them.
All the way through the public forum. Yep, that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
do.
All right. Coming from InfoWars here, because they do a great, one of the things I love about InfoWars, they only just do 5 at a time.
Yeah.
But they do a great.
Can we do a quick update on InfoWars that was supposed to be off the air real quick?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, recap on InfoWars that was supposed to be off the air. If for anyone who has heard, they tried to get shut down by the security company that Alex Jones literally did hire years ago, and then was taken over by the court-appointed officer that was supposed to oversee what was going on with InfoWars since back when Alex Jones got actually, charged and found
When he filed his bankruptcy. When you file a bankruptcy and you're a corporation that size, they assign
Right.
somebody to run
From
your
the court.
finances,
Right.
Because they think,
Right.
well, if you're filing
Right.
bankruptcy, you
Yeah.
can't handle your own money.
So they were trying to get him literally shut down for the last 2 weeks. They wasn't sure if it was like day by day.
Yeah.
And then they had another.
And by shutdown, it was aside from a court order.
Yep.
They were trying to padlock and change the locks of
Yep.
the actual building,
So they couldn't
go in.
walk into the studio, record, go live,
Yeah.
nothing. So, and a lot of their, which means all of the other contributors that are on that network, all their stuff that comes in and goes through that studio and gets put up as reports would not be there.
Yeah.
So, but then they had another bankruptcy hearing and they changed it from the chapter 11 to chapter 7, which means Alex Jones himself personally has to liquidate. So InfoWars is still up.
Yep.
And is still going to be putting out media. So get over there, make sure you
Make sure you support them. Great
Yeah.
products over there. I take a bunch of their supplements. I take bodies. I take nitric boost. I take.
Oh, sorry. Continue. I was just going to wait until you're done.
I take. There's 2 other ones that I take.
Brain Force.
Yeah, that's probably one that I didn't take before tonight.
The one you couldn't remember because your
Brain
brain's not
Force, and I was thinking of the 4th one.
The pollen. You take the
I handed a pollen block to Jesse
Yeah.
after hockey. He says my allergies are, and I went in the truck and I grabbed
There's cottonwood
a
floating
bottle
around
around,
all over
pollen
Michigan
block.
right now.
And then I take Brain Force. X2. That's the one I was thinking of.
Sure.
X2 and Survival Shield X3, which are both nascent iodines.
Yeah.
Great iodines. Protect you from stuff.
We have one of the best comebacks ever. John is just pissing off everybody. it seems
Yes,
like.
he is.
And he says, Flu Mama, what do you think you actually know that I don't? Feel free to answer. Sincerely, she says, spelling, sweetie, also deodorant.
Wow.
That's it.
All right. So
You mean
John's
Wow, man, you're getting slapped.
Bon Jovi? You mean
John Bovey is.
You mean cat
Oh.
Respecter renamed?
No, that's not.
I got called a boomer. I was like, what the hell?
No, he called her boomer.
I know, but I got called a boomer, and I was like,
think
what?
about it. A boomer, that's a compliment. You came from the best
Is it?
generation.
Since
The greatest
when?
generation.
I
That is
disagree.
not a freaking
The
I'm
most
sorry.
spoiled generation.
Last
damn.
5
I
years.
would say my generation
Let's
was
call
the
it-
forgotten generation.
It's a
and
boomer's
we
not
are
an
the
age
best.
group now these days. It's a mindset, right? And most boomers think, oh, if we just vote harder,
I'm
we
sorry.
can get Brandon out of here, and
I'm
everything
sorry.
will go back to normal.
I'm sorry. Calling the boomers spoiled is just disconnected with reality.
They They lived in the greatest period of economic prosperity, and they still think that we're living in it.
Because they fucking worked for it,
Honey,
made it great. Unlike
you
the
know
young
that my
generations,
boomer mother-
haven't worked to
I'm
make
not-
anything great.
They worked hard, but they still
To
think
make
that
it
we're
great.
still in the 50s and 60s era of
Hold
prosperity.
on for a minute. As you were going there, you're talking to a boomer.
Dude, Pat,
I know you did. I know you did.
No.
And I
no.
earned
All right, all right.
You,
No, this
you
is good.
earned everything. I'm
No,
not
this
saying
was good.
that. I'm not.
This
I'm not
young
saying-
kid was
Nobody
spouting off
gifted
at dinner.
anything.
Pat was giving me an eye. We were nodding at each other the whole
And you got
time
boomer
while he was
over there,
down
you got
there
one
eating
here.
dinner, saying what he was saying about boomers, not realizing he
No.
was sitting next to one.
I'm not trying to say, oh, boomers don't deserve anything. A lot of them just think, oh,
And you call them spoiled.
yeah, they think that we still.
No.
No, they bought their house for like pennies and dimes, and they think.
Hold on.
But that's
No,
not their
Hold on.
fault.
That's not their
That's
fault.
not not their fault, but they think that that's still how it is these days.
Pennies
the
and
people-
No, they
dimes.
don't. They
Yeah,
realize that it's
Well,
not like
they're
that.
mostly voting for Biden.
All right, all
They're
right,
moving
all right.
from
This is
Trump
good,
to
this is good.
Biden.
Hold on.
They
Hey,
think
wait,
that
wait.
most of them
No,
think
I'm
everything is.
not
No.
moving from
But
Pennies and dimes when they were working for nickels.
Exactly. It's the same. Their inflation is
Yes,
the same
they
as
were
our
working for
inflation.
nickels and bought it for pennies and
But
dimes.
they could have they
When-
could work as a postmaster and get a decent family-sized home. Well, it's the average family-sized home now. You got to work. We got to have like 100,000, 200,000.
But that's not their fault.
That's
for
not. I'm
still
not
believing-
saying that's their fault.
So
I'm just
how
saying,
are they spoiled?
No, I just think that they have a wrong mindset, and they
Wrong mindset.
They were.
That is
They
not
were. They
spoiled.
lived in. They lived in a country that was actually prosperous
they
and
lived
blessed.
in a country that's prosperous, and they still think it is,
And
even though
because
it's not.
because
So-
the country's been.
and they think voting will change it.
You're post-Obama generation, correct?
Dude,
basically.
You're post-Obama generation.
different
So
realities.
The
Different
reality of the world, because I lived in the world where I had boomer parents, and I was just starting out my career in life with Obama as president. So I lived the world of watching my parents be prosperous and being able. But now, when I say my parents be prosperous, we were on food stamps. My
Yeah.
clothes were always secondhand.
Yeah.
I saved tinfoil. So
You remember doing this-
realistically,
They're-
my boomer parents.
The boomers are mostly voting for Biden. My point is
Not
that
true.
no,
Not true.
They are. Yeah, that's
all women.
all of the polls
You
are
said
saying
that.
the boomers.
You
are
said
moving
that
from
at
Trump.
dinner, and I said I knew you're going to say that on the show. You're going to get blown up, dude.
I know. I don't care. I appreciate you all as my company and my friends, and I hope you don't feel the same. I hope you don't like me because I question.
No.
They're just voting more for Biden now
They're
than
not.
Trump because they don't
They're
actually.
not.
They're
Yeah,
not.
that's what all the polling says. The younger
The
people are
poll
moving
lies.
towards
Polls are
Trump.
bullshit, honey. It's all fake.
No.
Did you read this? It's all fake.
It's all
All fake, meatball.
The polls
So all
are
the
fake.
polls that are saying Trump is
The
winning is
AP
fake.
came out in 2022 and said that the woman that was representing the Republican Party for governor was the one that was winning 2 weeks prior to the primary. 2 weeks prior to the primary, where she won the primary. Same margin. Their poll that 2 weeks prior was going to be in the primary, the governor's candidate.
Yeah.
So the polls are bullshit. The AP, the Associated Press, said that what's her name, the porn star chick that ran as
Sloppy
the
Daniels?
Republican.
Yeah, Sloppy Daniels.
Yeah. No.
No.
The one that ran as the Republican governor nominee in 22.
Here?
Yeah, she did a D-rated movie porn.
She did porn?
Well, it
That's
was
our Republican
topless.
Party.
She
I mean,
was
who hasn't done topless?
I know. What was her name?
Sloppy
She
Daniels.
beat Ryan Kelly.
Let's just say Sloppy Daniels.
She beat Ryan Kelly. No, it
Oh.
wasn't her.
Tudor Dixon.
Tudor Dixon.
Oh, wait.
The AMP
She
came
did the-
out,
I
the
mean,
Associated Press came out 2 weeks prior
Patrick's
to the
showing his tits.
Republican
I might as well
primary
show
in
mine.
August of 22 and said Tudor Dixon was going to be the Republican nominee for governor.
Pamela Anderson.
Tudor
Tudor
Dixon.
Dixon.
By the margin, she became the governor nominee for the Republican Party. 2 weeks prior to the primary, they said Tudor Dixon's going to be the nominee, and this is how much she's going to be the nominee by. And then they erased it and said, "Oh, sorry, that was a mistake." And then 2 weeks later, she was a Republican nominee by that margin. Do you hear what I'm saying?
That was probably based on polling.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
all
okay.
fake.
All right. I'm going to end this debate right here. Hold on. CNN. What happened 2020 when Democrat Biden won voters under 50, Republican Donald Trump won voters over 50, according to exit polls when he got 60% of voters. Biden got 65% of voters, 18 to 24. Trump got 52% of voters, according to on the exit polls. Boomers are voting for Trump. There it is. This is CNN.
When was this? When was this set?
This was with CNN for 2020.
2024. What about 2024?
Well, we haven't voted for 2024.
I'm bringing up 2024 data.
So you're saying that all of the boomers that voted for Trump in 2024, 52%.
There are more of them heading in. There are more of them being classified as it that are voting. It's the hippie generation. Come on.
No, it's
You're
not.
so wrong. I
You're
work with
so
the public
wrong.
on a
Yes.
daily basis, and I'm telling you right now,
There are so many people pissed off at the economy.
all my TDS people are starting to say JRFK.
I'm going to say
Are they
this.
really?
The boomers' favorite Republican president, Ronald Reagan, gave amnesty to millions of illegals and had the corporatism that we have today. And that's why our country's so messed up, because corporatism. And that's Reagan started the gun banning laws. He started restricting the Second Amendment, giving amnesty to illegals, and the older people love him. And that's why that's why everyone is just going. It's just a down. It's like what I've been saying, slippery slope after slippery slope. Oh, we'll give a couple people amnesty. Where is it going now? Biden's giving all these people amnesty. He's going to give tens of millions amnesty. We just want to get married. Oh, we have kids' dicks getting chopped off.
Okay, 3/4 of voters aged 65 and older said Biden was too old to be effective as a president, compared to less than half who said the same about Donald Trump. You are just misinformed about boomers going for Biden.
I don't hate boomers. I love boomers.
No.
They're just thinking the wrong way.
Your assumption that they're thinking the wrong way does not back up by numbers.
More than half of them.
The numbers
like Biden.
is wrong. No, you're wrong. You are wrong.
I am right.
Stick to history. You're wrong.
Not right.
I've been watching the polling data since I
just read it to you.
But you got.
All right. What?
Hold on. Let me read you some John Bowlby. These two should get a room.
Oh Jesus! I don't know if I can take it.
Boomers can't wait to sell their family farm to buy a condo in Florida. And leave
Not
it to their
true.
Asian. Wait, hold on. Then leave it to their Asian second wife. I guess everyone loved me like boomers loved Israel.
Yeah.
I think he does this shit.
I
just
will
to
say
start-
the indoctrination of Israel into the boomer generation is very deep.
Yeah, it is. That's
very deep.
That's my main gripe with them is that they're fine. We love boomers. I love boomers. But their problem is like, we need to support Israel over our own country.
Do you realize boomers outnumber every other demographic by 4 times? There is one boomer for every 4 of any other demographic.
Is that a good thing to say? Because our
the
population
term
is
boomer.
Our
They
native
would've done baby
population
boom.
is declining, where the boomers outnumber the rest of the newer generations, and the Social Security thing gets fucked.
Okay.
It gets fucked.
Let's.
Younger
All right, we need to
generations are
all
fucked
right,
up.
bring the tone down. All right. Bring the tone down.
At least we aren't arguing on whether or not to annihilate the Palestinians.
Jesus.
That's true. That's true.
Because I'll tell you this.
What was that Biden graphic with the car? Let's go back to that.
We know that
We sure
2020 was stolen.
Yes.
Yes.
So when you look at it from a ripoff,
we go into the Biden.
Then the vast majority of the people over the age of 50 did vote for Biden. Now half of them were dead.
Yeah. 320,000 of them to be exact.
I remember 2020. I was watching tonight.
Yeah.
12 people in Detroit, born in 1896, voted for Biden.
Holy shit.
Yes.
I don't get that point.
Uh,
I'm just over here watching.
1896.
1896. In his defense, there's a whole bunch of articles here about boomers delivering surprise strength for Biden. Boomers.
What?
But they're all liberal media.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's all liberal media.
Exactly.
And they lie.
So the only reason I pay attention to polls today, when they say Trump is up by 25% and it comes from MSNBC, I go, then he's probably up by 35 or 40.
Okay.
And they're lying.
Okay, so by that logic,
So when they say-
by that logic, he's saying that boomers are giving Biden strong support. So they're underestimating what they support Biden. That's your logic, basically. I mean, CNN a couple days ago just said, 21% of black voters are now backing Trump.
Which is 40 to 50%.
Yeah. So
in straw polls.
I heard the numbers.
So when you
today.
say that boomers are overwhelmingly, I
I'm
disagree
not
because they're skewing the numbers
they're skewing
towards
to
Biden.
They're skewing. My point is that a lot of them don't see what's going on. They don't care.
Disagree.
Oh, that's not
No.
true.
What? They're skewing the Biden.
My entire clientele is boomers, and
So
everything
that-
you're
but that
saying is
refutes-
wrong.
That refutes.
Trump is winning young people, and that's
But that
underwhelming.
refutes your argument if you say they're
Even
skewing
if-
towards Biden.
Okay, young people are skewing towards Trump, and boomers are skewing towards Biden. That means that more boomers are still supporting Biden, even
No,
though what's been
no,
going
it
on in our
doesn't mean
country.
it's skewed
the
towards it.
border's open. Our economy's in shambles. We're being overtaken by
78% of
Russia
the-
and China, and people want to still elect this guy.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
I'm not making assumptions.
You are. If the leftist media said that boomers are skewing towards Biden,
You can
it's a
guarantee they're
lie.
not.
If they say that Trump's only getting 25% above Biden, they're lying. It means he's getting 35 to 40, and
Local-
boomers aren't skewing.
local
They're
channel-
trying to demoralize people. That's part of the argument, is demoralizing people and saying the older generation, which is 4 times of any generation, is skewing towards Biden. No, they're not.
They
Okay,
can
time
tell.
out for 1
Just
second.
wondering, when
Just
you
one-
look at a poll, do you look at the
1
sampling?
I look
Just
at
1
the polling.
1
average.
second.
Ho-
1 second. Do you know who Big K is?
Yeah.
Teddy. It's exactly what it says. Somebody's yelling at you.
Oh God.
Ah, you're in trouble now. All right, look at this.
Sorry.
I'm ready.
I was just-
Give me a
just-
final point because I'm ready to move on from this.
Very quickly.
Got
okay,
very
with the
argumentative, and I like to
media.
be happy.
Channel 4 is a local news station. I was at a school board meeting and witnessed a situation occur. What I saw on Channel 4 was the complete polar opposite of what happened at that meeting. Okay. I wrote the editor of Channel 4, or whatever, the producer of Channel
Shit.
4, with actual video clips because I was recording that meeting. And they refused to correct their story.
Correct.
Refused. So anything you read, honey, please take it with a grain of salt, because their job is propaganda. Their job is to propagandize us into being demoralized, into believing what they're saying is true, so we are defeated. Please don't believe it.
Final statement. Final statement. I love boomers. They're great. They're just a little misguided.
I didn't even say
They're
boomer
just-
once.
This may be the ones that you're around, but
A
the
bunch
ones
of
I'm
them,
around.
okay, a bunch of them are misguided, and some of them are out of touch.
Is
I'm
this
not
from
saying-
personal experience?
Yeah.
Okay, then
I-
you have to
listen,
couch it in
Name
that.
name
Listen.
3 people you know personally who are boomers.
That are voting for Biden.
No, just
Oh, I know a lot.
three people personally, their first names that you're not related to that are boomers.
Can't be anybody at this table, by the way.
Well, nobody's voting for Biden here.
I'm waiting
No.
for 3 names of people you know who are over the age of 65.
Every conversation I have with somebody over 65, they can't stand the economy and how it's affecting their children, their grandchildren, and they're done with the two-party
That's good.
duality,
I-
and they're voting for Trump. So your analysis of this,
My analysis is that
Now,
I think
coming
it's-
from where?
this is just what I see. Okay.
See, no, from where? Cite your sources,
That
because
we-
I'm reading the CNN article, and actually the rest of the CNN article agrees with you. But Jeremy just said that you got to take what you're reading with a grain
Is
of
the
salt.
CNN article saying Trump is
This
getting
was-
21% of the black vote, demoralizing?
No. What I'm saying is it agrees with you that it's getting actually the majority of the boomer vote. But from 3 days ago, CNN was just saying this. Yeah, the rest of the actual article, I started to talk about 2020. The rest of the article, while I'm reading while you guys are talking, does actually say that because the boomers are Biden and Trump's peers, that actually the boomer vote is slightly skewing towards Biden. The rest of it does agree with you.
you know what? I figured it out.
Yes.
They shit their pants just like Biden, so they self-identify. I figured it out. They identify, and they're like, you know what? Trump is still cognizant and walking around and able to play golf.
Trump's a boomer.
I can't play golf, and I'm shitting my pants, and I can't think straight. So I need to identify with the guy that represents me.
Trump's a boomer, and I love him.
Yeah.
You know,
You're right. No, I
I'm
can-
just saying that
You don't have to defend your love of boomers. You have to defend your source citing.
I'm just
for
saying
your
that there are a lot
information.
of people that are out of touch with what's going on in our country.
That's across.
That's why
That's
they're voting
across.
for
That's
Biden.
across any
That's why
demo-
they're voting for Biden.
But that's
No.
across any
Yes,
demographic. But to think that most people voted for Biden versus voting against Trump.
No, the
It's
will
based
vote.
on wealth.
The
And the
will
most, and the
vote.
most people that have wealth right now are the boomer generation. They have most of the wealth right now.
And
So-
all of the ones that I know are voting for Trump because he'll protect and restore their wealth.
We live in a big country, though.
Right.
We live in a giant country.
True, but
We live in a-
it's
Well, okay,
when you watch your
okay.
401k and your
I will-
retirement wiped out.
We'll see We'll see
changes your mind.
We'll see what happens in November. I'll just say that. We'll see
Yeah.
the data in November.
All right, let's
So
do
are
this
you-
because we got to
so are
finish
you
up the
pu-
show.
you pulling for Biden? I mean, I guess that's
I know
what
we're getting close.
I'm
but
looking at here.
I
You seem to be pulling for Biden.
Larry's got a brain.
no.
All right, let's do this. Here's an interesting
I love Ben Garrison.
some road work.
Yeah, I literally was on that graphic for this whole time.
I saw it 5 minutes ago, Larry.
I know.
Could beat my brain. It's going to end up like Biden.
morning.
I was on the shot for like 10 minutes while we
Yeah.
were discussing.
All right, let's do this one.
Oh, nice.
Weekend at the
Weekend
G7. Yeah.
What's her name in her pink jumpsuit? So you, like,
And one final one before we go to final thoughts. Build Back Better is going to take another 4 years. Bidenomics. Yeah.
Trying to build an
every
Indy
time a
one
client
farther.
complains about how
Yeah.
expensive their groceries are, all I respond
Dude.
with is Bidenomics.
Biden,
That's all I say.
that's what I've been
Bidenomics.
saying multiple times.
Mhm.
They're like,
It irritates
they're
people.
like, oh my God. The guys were talking about how much a boat costs in the locker room the other day.
Dude.
Not from like buying it themselves because they can't afford it, but they're like, holy
No,
shit. Did you see how
no.
much these boats cost nowadays?
Uh-huh.
Like
Boats?
4 years ago, it was this boat cost this much. Now it costs this much. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I goes, Bidenomics.
As a Gen Xer, I bought my first car for
Dude.
$475.
Boats.
There is no freaking way my
And
16-year-old could buy a $475 car right now.
We just
That one
went
that
right,
runs.
just today. We drove.
Well, they
Ford
could,
dealer.
but it wouldn't drive
I
anywhere.
know.
Hey, today we're thinking, the Queen and I are going, hey, we're getting on an age. Let's sell our two cars that are paid off. One's a
Right.
22, one's a 20 or whatever.
I need a car.
Max miles on both of them added together is 36,000. I said, we sell them on the side and we buy one car here at the end. Like in October is a good time to buy. I used to
I
work
need a
out on the
car.
street. We went down to Ford. Looked at the Escapes.
They're insane.
The Escape that she bought for like 28 3 years ago. They're in the 30s, and the top end ST line or whatever Escape is 43,000.
What?
Yes,
A 3-year-old?
Yeah.
it's called it's ST, which means specialty.
How
team.
many miles?
Now, tell me how a kid can buy one of those, or
They
I'm
can't.
like shit. I
They
mean,
You
can't
can't.
buy
No.
cars now.
Inflation
You can't
is
buy
the
cars, can't buy homes.
But you're talking about
No,
cars and
somebody
homes. No, no,
graduated
check
from
this.
college now. How are
No,
they
wait,
going to
wait,
buy
wait.
a home in a couple of
I
years?
Wait,
told
wait, no,
my
no.
kids they could buy that 5K Amazon house and put it in the backfield. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, no. You're talking about inflation on cars and houses. I wanted to go pick up a Raisin Bran and oat milk and didn't have $20.
Oh, I know. It's so sad.
no, and inflation is another tax and punishment. And what they want to do in this country is they want to destroy the middle class because the middle class has been the true American dream wealth producers in this country. Not the upper, not the lower. I don't even like to call it the middle class, but it's those people who had a great living, had a great life, and they're working to destroy that. They're working to destroy that ability to be self-sufficient, to be autonomous within the system. They want to destroy that. They want us to be dependent upon the system, and the only way they can do that is to destroy the currency, destroy the wealth base of people. You know, just to be able to. They don't want you to be able to go
They
and,
want the
and
gap.
go skiing on the weekend or take a vacation. They want everybody in pods and everybody on, controlled and doing that stuff
Serfdom.
because then they control it, and it brings it back to a feudal system where we're subservient to them. Larry, you were slapping my brain. Final thoughts.
Slap that
Final
brain.
thought.
Sign my paper that didn't print properly, along with all the other bugs we had tonight.
We had a lot of bugs tonight.
But it was a great night.
It was
Good night.
But I would like everyone to know I do have now the overhead back again, so I can get the signature shots.
Oh,
When you're given the paper to sign to, and you're going to sign it, don't sign it until you start your final thought, please, so I can then get the shot of you signing.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
John
Okay.
Bovee.
Yeah, so I got Larry's signing, so
Ignore it.
don't sign until you start your final thought.
There you go.
I was gonna say I love you, brother.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
No.
Okay, Larry,
right.
go. Final
My
thought.
final thought is that we are heading into a primary.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the primary is the most important election.
The next election is the most important
That
election.
I'm not voting in.
Every election is the most important election.
Yeah, the next election.
I'm joking when I say
I know you are. I know you are. The primary is when you pick the candidate
Right.
that's going to go up against the Democrat opponent. And if you pick a weak or rhino type candidate,
Like a candy ass?
yeah.
Is that your watch going off?
Yes.
Dude, your chime has been pissing me off for the whole
And
last
then
fucking trip. Yeah.
what ends up happening is the Democrat wins
Yep.
because the Republicans
Yep.
stay home.
Get your right primary vote in. Yep.
Because Republicans are fed up and tired with backstabbing, weak-kneed, spineless jellyfish
Rhinos.
rhinos being elected.
You
to
candy ass.
and being sold out.
Yep.
Mr.
That
Coffee.
Okay. All I got to say is do your fucking homework and vote.
Yep.
Don't listen to me because
Microphone?
nobody knows how I'm gonna vote.
Oh, wait.
It's on.
Oh, he does have it on. Okay.
You know?
Not even you.
I don't. I'm still looking at all this. I'm serious. We were talking before the show. Do your homework. Do your homework. Anyway,
Do your homework.
vote.
Get your shit together.
Give that to somebody else.
I think we're good. All right. Patrick, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
No, he doesn't get the same color.
Different color.
Orange
that
again.
fancy
Oh
DJ
my
voice.
God.
That's not pink. No, I gave you purple.
It's not pink. It's
Right?
light red. It's light red.
I can give you burgundy.
Pink. It's not
Burgundy?
pink. It's light
No
red.
burgundy? All right. Jesus, I thought
Call me a
I thought all the controversies were over when we moved on from Teddy's subject, and now I got to deal with the fucking pens.
Everybody's fighting over the pens now.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
sign and then talk so I can change cameras, please.
You're so feisty.
Pat, sign and then talk. Thank you. Jeremy wants to document his shows based on paperwork being, he has a stack
There it
of
is.
Absolutely.
ream. I want to document
Now-
the shows by.
Okay, as a boomer,
Thank you,
okay,
Pat.
I can tell you that I am definitely going to be voting for Trump. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
why? Because I'm a businessman.
Mhm.
I have been a businessman for many years, and I like having a businessman in Washington. Why? Because we need to have somebody that has some business sense in his brain that can run this country.
Amen.
Not a guy that's been on the dole for I don't know how 50 some years working for the government. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have a freaking clue. He has never employed anyone. He doesn't know what it's about.
Amen.
I do. I
Preach.
do. I've built businesses. I've run businesses. It ain't fun, okay? When you are trying to figure out how you're going to make payments to your employees so they stick around and you don't take a paycheck because you got to make sure that they're taken care of, okay?
Yes.
So I will be voting Trump.
Pat's preaching.
There are a lot of people who are right alongside me with that. If you look at most of the farmers out there, who are they? Are they the people that are starting off at the Gen X's? Hell no, they're the boomers because they've been around
Amen.
for a while, and they're all voting Trump. Okay, so we're voting Trump.
Preach it, brother.
I will ask everybody to go out and do your job, and not only vote, but get involved.
Yes.
Do something more than just walk in and put a vote in. Go out and become a poll challenger or a poll worker
yes.
or a delegate. Put your name on the ballot, become a delegate. Because, when you vote in the primaries, what you're doing is you're telling the delegates who they should vote for, because we have a primary where all the delegates get elected to go. And they are the ones that decide. They vote as to who's going to be their candidate. Okay? So get involved. Please get involved. That's all.
Amen.
Amen. I agree.
I love how red you get when you get very passionate. You've done it a couple times. It's great.
Teddy, final
You must
thought.
be Irish.
Okay. I
All
agree.
right.
I agree with Mr. Coffee and Patrick. Right. Do your homework. Look at the numbers. Look at history. Right. We're living in a repeat of the fall of the Roman Empire, fall of the Roman Republic. Our
True.
system is outdated. We should not care about a federal and state government that hates us. Right.
True.
We need to get involved locally. We need to vote in our guys, and we need to fight for our morals and our values. We need to keep our county the way America should have been, right? The way the boomers grew up in, and the way the boomers worked their asses off to prosper it, right?
Amen. Make America great
Absolutely.
again.
Make America great again. But locally.
Locally. Amen.
Build up, bottom up, top up.
Amen. Kelly?
As a member of the
Kelly was my
Acton,
surprise tonight. Kelly walked in the door at
She didn't even tell us
like
she was
like
showing up
15
to
minutes
the
to showtime,
show,
even though
yeah.
showtime ended up being 45, almost
I
50
know I
minutes
would have
late.
been so on time normally.
And Kelly walked in. I was like, "Oh, Kelly's here! I didn't know. Awesome!"
Well,
I'm
like
like,
I
"All right,
said,
we got to
last
figure out
week
the."
I would have been here.
And then I
about
came up here,
midnight.
ran around figuring out the table and make sure we all had seats. And then I'm like, and then the audio just fucked us.
It's my
Audio
fault.
crapped out, then the video crapped out.
It's my fault.
Kelly, sign and tell me your final thoughts, hon.
I'm signing if you want to overhead this stuff.
Hold on. And here's the thing: is we've changed a lot in the setup.
I know.
None of the changes we did affected audio.
Oh no! But all of the changes in the setup, I have to pay attention to. So
I know it. No, it's yeah. Final thoughts, Kelly. Baby girl.
As a member of the
Baby
forgotten
girl?
generation,
Really?
it's fun to sit back and watch both generations have these conversations. I just have to say, and I'm a
Exercise.
mother
Good.
of your generation, so I'm doing my best to raise people that are hopefully going to be of an independent mind and spirit and vote the way they need to vote to be able to make sure we secure our rights and fundamental values per the Constitution and the Bible, because ultimately in history, this is biblical. It's very biblical.
Very biblical.
With that being said, I'd also like to talk about Real ID really quick. There was an article put out a couple days ago about how our Secretary of State across what? Oh, I just made it worse. Okay, anyway.
No, it's so funny. I had to give you shit about your bottle at least once. I just went to the table shot, and it was the inside joke. Never mind. Go ahead.
Joke. Okay, so Real ID. There was an article that was put out a couple days ago about how Real ID is a real scam, and Secretary of State all across the country is third-partying our data to an outside source that's a private entity to keep our driving records, our medical records, our driving information, our
Can I ask you a question about
pictures.
that real quick?
In 1 second, I went to Secretary of State about a month ago to get my 15-year-old's
Right.
new permit, which is now a physical ID.
Right.
And
So I'm just
whilst-
getting my license. That's why I had a question.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
whilst in line for that,
Yeah.
we got up to the counter and I was given Real ID paperwork and told to fill it out. And I said, we are not going to participate in this program.
Really?
The person that was running my stuff said, well, you have to. And I said, no, I don't. And he said, well, you're not going to be allowed to fly. And I said, well, guess what? That's what a passport's for. And he didn't know what to say. So he said, let me go get my manager.
Interesting.
He went to the woman that I thought was the mentally ill person that was greeting people at the front door and brought her back as the manager. And the manager
I met her.
informed me that I had no option but to participate
Right.
in the Real ID program.
Back then, you got to fill out the paper.
Where I informed her, no,
Yeah,
it
they
was so
did,
much worse
baby.
than that. It was so much worse than that. But anyway, so
He made fun of retarded people in his show.
she informed me that we had no choice. And I informed her that the Constitution gives me plenty of choices, and this is not one that I am choosing. And so she then had to tell me she was going to her manager. 15 minutes later, from the time she left me, she kicked the guy out of the chair and haughtily wrote an email to Lansing wherein they provided us a non-real ID driver's license for my 15-year-old child, because you do not have to participate in the social credit system that they are signing you up for with
Right.
Real ID. If you have a star on your driver's
Right.
license,
That's why I wanted to
please
ask.
go to your DMV or Secretary of State and state, I would like to disassociate myself from this and go to a state issued license. State issued. You don't
Okay.
need to be in a federal program, because Real ID has now been combined with Canada, Mexico, through a private company that is not hosted in the United States. And if you want your medical, driving, and personal data to not be hacked or sold, you should deregister yourself from the program and get yourself a passport.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay, for those who don't know, and I'm on table cam, so you can look at your audience by looking at the table camera. That one over there. So I was informed when I had my ID for Michigan issued over 18 months ago that I already had a Real ID because it had a little star in the corner. And I'm like, okay, I don't remember giving any more information. And it was a curiosity, if not a concern of mine. What did the Real ID program mean, and what does that what information is being taken and what is the detriment to being part of the Real ID program. You somewhat answered that. Is do they disseminate your information to sell it to what's the
Yes.
dangers of that program? Because when I'm now actually getting my license to drive, I actually am now a licensed driver, although they haven't sent me the physical piece of plastic.
It is the
Overhead shot.
It is the start of the social credit system when
Social credit,
when the
right.
Affordable Care Act was passed. It's
Right.
a caveat in the Affordable
Give me
Care
overhead
Act.
shot, Tim.
I'm working on it, dude. It's in a different menu
know.
now. We fucked it up. Give me a second. I'm listening to her answer. I'm a male. I can't multitask. Shit.
All you gotta say is I'm working on it. I wasn't. I didn't know if you heard me.
I did. Anyway, because yeah. Go ahead, Kelly. You were saying.
So it was a caveat in the Affordable Care Act that was the start of centralizing
rest of your
our
info.
medical data. The next step was the driving data. Then now the banking system.
Oh yeah, that orange star or,
Yep.
or golden star in the top right hand corner is now in Michigan
Star
IDs.
there.
Yep.
Yep.
And what they tell you is you won't be allowed to fly
No
in
star.
the 50
No
United
star.
States without the
Right.
star.
So Larry's a Fed.
Right.
But
Right.
you are allowed to fly in the 50
Right.
United States with a passport. So
Right. Okay.
they're doing that as a fear tactic to force you into a social credit
Interesting.
platform.
Well, I don't know if it's
That's
fear.
what it
Well,
is.
here's the thing. No, I wouldn't say it's a fear tactic because
Control mechanism.
No. Actually, it's actually an incentive program too.
Yeah.
Because I was told when getting my driver's license, I just don't drive because I work from places where I don't need to. But now that I'm getting one, they said if you get actually the Real ID I have is already a part of that program. But then they actually offered me an incentive to get an advanced driver's license, which acts as a passport for Mexico, Canada, and like Virgin Islands, the Caribbean, blah, 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 blah. So there's incentive programs for that too. So am I naive saying, because I really didn't want to go through the hassle of getting a passport, but I would be more than willing if you can justify private conversations later. What should I roll back my Real ID because I'm literally getting my passport or my driver's license printed literally in the next 5 to 7 days. Roll it back to a regular state issued driver's license and then go get a passport separately.
Yeah.
So what does that protect?
It protects your private identifying information
Mhm.
and it keeps you from being part of the ESG social credit system. Right now, credit card companies
Mhm.
are actually doing more incentives
Mm-hmm.
if you purchase the way they want you to purchase, if
Mhm.
you stay within the green climate agenda with
Mhm.
the ESG scores.
Might later restrict purchases.
And then they will eventually get to the point where they'll say, sorry, you spent too much money on meat this year
I
or
see.
month.
Sure.
So you're no longer allowed to buy meat for the month.
Sure.
You have to buy
Sure.
this box of crickets
Okay,
because
okay.
you've gone outside of your climate.
Okay. We'll have a conversation later, but later I would say for those who may want to play that system, buy into it and play it for benefits later, but not believe in it. Like I've seen guys who have literally baseball card folders full of credit cards that want to play the system, use it for a whole different scam, whole different deal. That's a whole different game. So,
All right.
back to who?
Me.
Oh, all right.
I'll give my final thought. Did you want me to?
What?
He's signing.
I was
Overhead.
ready to sign first.
Dude,
there
it's
we go.
new protocol, man.
I know.
You know, these people who run this show and force me to push buttons, they change shit all week long and then expect
We
me
lost.
to learn it.
We
in,
lost the
like,
man cave and the overhead shot
Sure.
for about a month.
I know. And now we have it.
And
Look
I
at-
worked on it.
Look at this. And I
It's
haven't
gorgeous,
even
isn't it?
used it. Look at this fucking man cave
Oh,
shot.
that looks so good.
So amazing.
I reset the.
He did.
I
Jeremy did a
reset the camera.
kick-ass reset of the man.
Gorgeous.
Amazing. Look, you can see the. Well, I'm going to move my mouse over here. You're
gorgeous.
muted. Yeah, you can see the guitars over there in front of the
I
stage.
know. It's beautiful.
And this is low light setting.
Yeah.
So you can see everything beautifully.
Yeah. It's funny when people walk in and they go, "Man, it's kind of dark in here," and I go, "It's called a man cave,
It's a cave.
not a man lit up fucking place. It's called a man cave,
You have to come up with a different word for that because it does
A
never
manclave
sound
is
right.
Totally different
like a
from a
man cave, not."
Manclave is not an inclusive name. We need to have
Yeah.
non-binary cave.
Oh no, man
No.
cave does not denote that women can't attend.
Yeah.
It just means that
It's not the
It
He-Man
has
Women
man-
Haters
it
Club.
has man in it, so it just defends people. So we
Yeah,
have to be
in the
balanced.
beginning, he created them, and it has to be hopped up on so many medications in order to walk out on stage. Has to be led off the stage. Purported to be your president. A vice president who claims to be the first black president who did more to harm the black community and enslave and imprison blacks 3 times as much as any other demographic, whose grandparents, and we don't want to slight people for what our ancestors do, because you can always break free from the shackles of that, but clearly she did not, and she's a cackling idiot who performed fellatio in order to reach certain higher places of governmental office. I am the person who challenges it. You got it there, Tim? Yeah. I can't hear the audio.
I was going to run it during your final thoughts because 7.5 minutes.
Oh, right. So this is a scene from
It's a little
Rocky
clipped.
3.
Yeah, just keep talking. I'll mute it when he gets to the meatball.
Yeah, and that's
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan playing Thunder Lips, the ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball. And then he's beating the shit out of him during the match, which is supposed to be a charity thing.
Yeah,
and he's just
Well,
he's yelling at Rocky the whole time.
Well,
All
Rocky
fake meatball.
Yeah, no, Rocky comes up and tries to negotiate how the match is going to go.
Yeah,
because his trainer's saying right here that it's it's all show. It's
just
you
for
know
show.
it's a
charity
show.
event.
It's a charity event. You
Yeah,
know?
the wrestler wanted to
Put it
beat up on the
yeah,
boxer.
yeah,
The boxer wanted to knock out the wrestler.
Yeah,
and-
so it's all for show.
Yeah, it's all for show. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, I challenge everything. I challenge my own long-held
Mr. T.
beliefs. I challenge all of these things, not in a adversarial way, but in a constant reaffirmation way. I'm constantly challenging what I believe and why I believe it. Because if you are not willing to challenge your long-held beliefs and put them up against the test of scrutinies, then they're no more real than Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. And if somebody were to take all of the media and all of the media that has been produced just on Santa Claus in the last century and had no grounding in reality about Santa Claus, but just saw the media that's been produced and the
Santa Claus is on our long table show, by the way.
Huh?
Santa Claus is on our long table show.
He is. But if you take all of that, the cartoons and the movies and the
mythos
and the whole thing that's been built up, and you had no contextual grounding, you would absolutely believe that there was this guy who did all these things, and you'd watch Tim Allen or all these other people that have portrayed him on the screen, and you would think this is historical record. It would literally be what's the Galaxy Quest.
Oh, those poor people.
The historical record.
Yes, records. Oh, those poor people.
And that's what we have nowadays. Going to Teddy's point is what I think he was trying to get to is people don't challenge their own deeply held ideas. And it's difficult for a lot of people because those are often the only anchor we have in the storm is what we currently believe at that moment. You got to find your anchor in Christ, not in what you believe. Let me say it this way, and you'll have to meditate on this. You have to find your anchor in Christ, not in what you believe about Christ. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever, but what you know about him can change tomorrow, even though he is the same yesterday, today, and forever, which means tomorrow. But what you believe about him can change, but that doesn't change your relationship dynamic of connection. It may change your relationship dynamic of operation, of interaction, but it doesn't change your connection. I look at it from this dynamic. At one point, my children were infants. Then they were children. Then they were teens. Then they're adults. Now they're adults with their own children's. My dynamics my operation, my interactions with them has changed from the point of their birth until now. And it will continue to change. That does not mean that the relationship was in any way disconnected because our relationship dynamic changed. We grow as individuals. The number one thing we need to do is challenge everything that we're receiving, all of the information we're receiving, but know who Christ is to the best of our ability. Paul said, let us live up to what we've obtained, but continually strive towards learning more. And then the other dynamic is simultaneous with that. Know yourself. Who are you? Start to get a grasp on that. It's so hard to fool people who have a solid grasp on who they are and have at least some semblance of the relationship they have with the God who created them. That's my final thought tonight. That it, Tim?
Yeah, let me play the float crip and just go to close. You want to thank your guests?
Thanks everybody for being here, guys. Good conversations. Got to get a little feisty.
Good night, everybody.
Good stuff. And we got a little bit of audio issues, but we moved through it in a good show.
Finally got there. Yep.
Yep.
Was a good show.
Thank you guys, all those in chat, and everybody tuning in. We appreciate all of you. And with that, we are.
I'm going to go to the Rocky clip and then close it.
All right.
You're in trouble. I'm gonna break him in half like this.
Seems like lately everybody wants to beat me up.
Stay
away. Make faces. Move around the ring. Got it. All right.
He is the ring.
I get nervous every time he does that. Whoa, you move pretty fast for a big guy, you know that? Listen, why don't we just move around a little bit, you know, like give him a good show. First I'll chase you and you chase me, okay? How's that? All right? Here you go. Is that okay? That hurt, all right? Don't mess with me. How's that? Okay? Not bad, huh?
Come on, Meatball. Come on.
Hey!
It's all fake, Meatball. All fake.
Thunderlips has gone absolutely berserk.
Run for your life! Blast off, Meatball! No, I'm not getting off for the Meatball. I'm not doing it yet, boy. I can't break your spirit. I sure enough can break your back.
Is Daddy having fun? Of course.
Russia. Holy smoke, over the gods, here we go, baby! Lights up, Meatball!
Balboa is really in pain.
No one can believe the superhuman strength of Thunderlips. I am the man.
Stop it, me!
You want this punching bag? Adrian!
Rocky!
Catch me! That's incredible. Balboa's just heaved clear into the fifth row. Now the fans are outraged too.
I'm gonna drag him down now like a dirty rag. Balboa.
You okay? Flying everywhere. Teeth are flying. To my gloves off. You finished?
To my gloves off.
That place is a zoo. This place is turned into a zoo. This is very, very.
Did you get a doctor?
Sure. The girls have gotten into it.
I'll be right back.
Come on! Move! Hey! Out of the way, Rose! Come on! choking. I don't swing you. I don't need this. Out now, hanging on like a bull terrier. Now he's got me in a stranglehold. Rocky actually did it. A human skyscraper has been thrown out of the lane. All right, that's it. Time to come up. Come over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a draw. A draw. Thank you for an offer for the 12th annual charity match between the Italian stallion Rocky Balboa and Thunderlip, the ultimate male. See you next year. Thank God.
Are you all right?
Yeah, pretty good. Good match. Yeah, why you so crazy on me out there? That's the name of the game.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg. Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey, dude,
that's an egg.
seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
A sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they got to be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Never apologize and never explain.